having couscous, and
Start!
No backward!
Fuck, they're doing a promotional thing on... Oh, they're doing 2 promotional things on Steam and I'm streaming, so I can't look into them, except I'm going to anyway because I'm irresponsible like that. Wait, I forgot to tweet the stream. I'm so responsible.
Responsible. Anyway,
Oh.
I will try to maintain all pent-up hype from the past couple days, so that none of it bleeds out. But can't promise anything.
Well, which thing are you talking about? The thing, the second thing, the third thing, or the other thing?
All of them.
No. Oh my goodness. Not only are we dropping frames out of the wazoo and back up the other side, but also... Can't see the Lisbon lampshade. That's what the people come for, even though there's nobody here yet. There we go.
How dare!
And like, since we've only been going for less than a short amount of time, I'm going to quickly reset the stream, see if that fixes the frame rate fuckery. Oh, I know what that's about. Has that fixed it at all?
Has what fixed what? Fixed what?
Yes. There we go.
I'm sorry, don't mind me. I am vaguely distracted by typing. There we go.
How is your couscous, by the way?
That wasn't supposed to sound innuendic, was it? Sorry. My couscous is fine right now, thank you. And also, the food I made is really good. Or at least, I think it will be. See, organic Swiss tastes really weird. I'm finding out. And I'm
as
having
opposed
trouble
to as opposed to artificial Swiss people or natural Bulgarians. Specifically
Yeah,
Bulgarians.
I prefer Bulgarian cheese, so...
And who said we were talking about cheese? Yeah.
Well, depends on the kind of cheese we're talking about. Anyway... Oh god, that sounded a lot worse than kill me.
Yodel into a napkin. We've all been
No
there.
one's gonna get that a year from now. Oh geez, I wonder how TessHex's stream went. I just finished watching the study for Case 4. I'm so glad he kept this stream up after a year. I just wish the other one would just shut up a bit. But all of a sudden it comes out that it's like... Yeah, Yodel into a napkin. No one's gonna get that. We're not gonna explain it to anyone either.
Cool and good. Which Austin now also
Angry!
understands. Here, you have it now. You can drink your beepus in freedom from any form of interruption or disturbance.
Can I has no vegetal?
Here is your nacho and salsa as you ordered. This isn't salsa, this is Macarena! Now, that is something people aren't going to understand. Any whomstedov. Don't mind me, I'm just
totally
opening the
fine
game.
because it actually ties in with the part I just uploaded. So I feel vaguely, whatever the word is for it, justified. There we go.
Oh, Austin, there was a load of Eurovision news, and I'm not even being facetious, there legitimately was. I don't remember if I mentioned it to you or not.
Not like a load of shit that is also Eurovision news. Go on, sorry. Go on. Sorry, go on.
Well, they've announced the theme art and the slogan and also the artists for Finland and Azerbaijan and the Netherlands, and basically this is so much more news than you actually get normally in the real world of Felfman.
Is this the same thing where, like, they're gonna make it boat-themed by shouting, "All aboard!" Like, really?
Discord cut out, so I didn't hear what the alternative was.
Oh, no, just, it sounds like trains. Why
thank
did
you.
they do that?
See, my mother and I both were like, this sounds like a train. And I think Heartbeat is the only one who doesn't agree with that so far, because, like, okay, maybe it is a cultural thing. Maybe they have more boats than trains in Portugal. But certainly, English-speaking countries be like, but this is a sea train. This isn't Spirited Away.
Well, it has more to do with how media has portrayed the two of them, you know? When we think boats, we think, like, you know, either tiny little sailboats that it's like you would never need to announce if everyone's on board, or yachts, which, I mean, like, we get that in the whistle as opposed to somebody shouting something. Whereas with a train, since it's linear and a station is echoey, some guy in the back could shout, "All aboard!" and it carries to the front of the train. So that's something that's still
Hold on,
used
just with that voice. Just with
Mm-hmm.
that voice, I'm picturing fucking Vector the Crocodile, but like 1920s style, sepia, you know, grainy film, and like with one of those crazy, like, giant mustaches, and he's just so into character, and it's cute.
I'm a detective! Yeah, I can see that working out pretty well.
Thing is, the all-aboard kind of boats sort of sank with the Titanic. Oh god, hopefully Eurovision doesn't sink as well.
Hey, that's fine, as long as they throw in everything but the kitchen sink. Am I right? Ha ha!
Now,
Where did that expression even come from?
Now, I will say, in my opinion, like, this is something where people on the internet seriously need to hear my entire opinion before they react to it, but, like, I think, off the top of my head, it's the worst slogan Eurovision's ever had, but it's not bad. It's just my least favorite. So, like, I still think it has legitimate merit. It's just others had more merit, in my opinion. And there's no way of dressing that up that won't piss the internet off. Like, I still think it's okay. It's still more than possible. Like, it's better than some of the ones that fans have come up with for their online song contests. Like, 2 for 1, or Feel the Warm Side of Ice, both of which were real.
What? Why? Okay. That last one, I'm gonna say, no, that takes the cake. All aboard, at the very least, during the contest, when instead of butterflies, they have yachts everywhere, I'm gonna be okay with that.
I feel like they made Come Together work because it was like really generic, but then Petromeda made a filthy joke about semen and then everyone was just on board with it. Anyway.
It's like the one instead of good Transformers. That's fine though. As far as like weird opinions like that go, I'm the person who's sitting here saying, yeah, everyone who hates Sonic Forces brings up 100% valid criticisms about the game. I still think it's like one of the best Sonic games. Well, in years is saying much, because I think even in my LP I say I've been waiting 6 years for a game like this, because it has been 6 years since a good Sonic game. Is that bad? Is that bad? To be fair, we've also been waiting 6 years for a good Zelda game, and Tess is gonna keep waiting longer.
Yep. And we've all been down that road. Oh yes. Now, between the last stream and this one.
I'm not bringing that up now.
Between the last stream, I think it was like, I think the day after the previous stream, which was like a week ago, or possibly even more. But I had a revelation about the arrangement of the funhouse. Because, like, we were thinking, oh, maybe something rotates. Like, no. I came to the realization that Strawberry House is just on top of Grape House, and then suddenly everything makes sense. Which then means that the tower in the middle is actually a giant elevator shaft, which then, did I not say as soon as we saw Nekomaru's body that it looked like he'd been dropped? And, like, I don't even remember, like, there's evidence in here somewhere that's like... where is it? Like the broken doorknob. On the back, yeah. So that was Strawberry House, which is the upper of the two, and it was broken because the commander was like tied to it or something. And they want to make us think it's all twisty, but it's not, it's verticality. I get it. At least that's the theory that I came up with. Was there anything else I predicted between then and now?
There was something to do with Gundam. Right, soundproof rooms.
Oh yeah, so Gundam is kind of super suspicious because he was staying in a soundproof room and yet he still heard the thing when it went ding dang ding dang dong, yo. Which is a funny noise for a clock to make, but hey, it's the funhouse. And let's just get this roll on the show. As opposed to... No, I'm not finishing that thought. Well, we didn't see how he appeared, but I'm just going to assume he dropped in through the ceiling because verticality. The wheel of verticality. Anyway.
Turn. Tell us the height that
Now
we
then,
should yearn.
let's begin with a simple
Sorry, continue.
explanation
As you
of the
go
class
on.
trial.
Other things.
Oh yeah, the fucking gaudy-ass Simon Y prototype of casino night courtroom.
During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is.
Oh, Mikan's got like
and
a
vote for who done it.
a cross plus thing over her face. Like all nursey and shit.
If you vote correctly, then only I'll punish everyone besides
See,
the
there we go.
blackened.
I love
and
it.
that
I love
person
the
will
fact
earn
that the
the right
killers
to
get
leave
like a
this
little reward
island.
for killing, as in their memorandum is a little more iconic. I like that.
Austin, I would advise kissing the microphone again, but not as much as last time. Last time you were definitely loud, but this time...
Was I?
Just...
Hang on. I know what the problem is. Hang on, let's fix this.
Is it tofu? Because tofu is always a problem.
I'm sure you
I mean, I would 100% agree. Am I coming in any better?
That's a lot louder, but I'd dial it back a little bit.
How about now?
Yeah. A little bit more.
How about now?
There we go.
Whoever survives will be treated to a fancy lunch. Guess what? Rabbit curry is on the menu.
Huh? I'm not the main ingredient, right?
I'm here today because Coach Nekomaru risked his life to protect me.
I love how the hearts in the background look like sort of brains, kind of.
I'm gonna
But
be the one
just
who
I wonder if
But-
that's
avenges him.
intentional.
I'll definitely find out.
I mean,
who the
it's
killer
either
is.
that or like a cross section of an
Definitely not
anus
tempted
with like
by
fire
curry,
going
got
on
it?
inside of it.
Whoa, interpretation. She's definitely not tempted by curry, by the way. Just so we're all clear.
Tess.
Yes.
God, that's a good profile image. It should show how you've conditioned me over the years we've known each other, Tess. That the first thing I thought you were gonna say was woo interpretive dance.
Hey, why don't we try going over the incident?
DuckTales.
We weren't able to leave Strawberry House, so I want to make sure we get a detailed understanding.
I discovered Nekomaru's body a little before 7 a.m.
That's another one. We're sort of not 100% sure of the times because Nekomaru's body didn't seem to line up with the clocks in the houses, and the house clocks can be changed, but Nekomaru's can't be. So how do we know it was 7 a.m.?
I headed over to Grape Tower for Monokuma Taichi and found the body there.
Time is just like a construction of perception, man.
Hajime and Chiaki were also with me.
Hajime was with Miss...
I don't know how they're going to be able to cover all this stuff, because I've already obviously accepted everything you said as true. I just don't know how they're going to be able to cover all that in one trial. Unless we're here for 4 hours. Which we could be.
Don't tell me you three were together since last night!
Imbecile! I am not some woman with flexible legs.
Now that's a profile picture. I am not some woman with flexible legs.
Of course you're not. You're much classier than that.
With legs like those.
Yeah, but Monokuma was like, hey, everyone missed Tai Chi, but then it didn't. And Akane actually talking about gymnastics for once. Halle Berry. Who's Halle Berry?
We just happened to run into each other on the first floor of Grape House and went to the tower together.
And then, The three of us discovered
I was about to come up with some
Nekomaru's
kind of
body.
pun, but then I realized that grapes are only one-syllable words.
The body discovery announcement was
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
made soon after. Akane heard that and rushed over.
We heard the body discovery announcement too, from Strawberry House, obviously. As I recall, we found out the elevator was out of order, which left us stuck.
I love how Nagito's still in his like default pose, like you fuck, you're gonna ruin everything because you always do.
So we decided to go to the tower for the time being and headed for Strawberry Hall.
But then if I'm right about the verticality of the houses, then I'm right that he's gonna die in the next chapter, so we could just be.
Discord, you just did a wonderful job cutting out there.
But someone even
Good.
broke Strawberry Hall's door button. We couldn't go anywhere because of that.
Thinking we should at least find some method to communicate, we set our sights on the lounge telephone.
There's some sort of dissonance there between lounge, telephone. Like, if you say one, you're not gonna say the other. Like either like sitting room, living room, foyer, or phone.
Forget these boring intros. Let's talk about the killer.
But then who was
It's
telephone?
definitely someone from
Mandor
Strawberry
hand hook car
House.
door.
What do you mean, definitely?
There's no way.
Did I ever actually like publicly put out my initial reading of that?
You Strawberry House dudes.
No, I think I was going to. Oh, I was going to like animaticify it, and now that I have the Danganronpa portraits, I could just do that with it. So that would be fun.
One of you better
to you.
hurry up and confess, or I'll break all of you in half.
Dude, that's hard work to get all those in there. I'm probably never gonna do that again because that 3 seconds in moderation part 4 was all I could ever do with it.
Believe in yourself.
But I mean, it
You're the
worked.
coolest one here.
Want some chocolate?
Now, enough with the lovers' quarrel. We need to think about this seriously. We don't have the luxury of discussing irrelevant things. The incident this time has many questions. The incident notwithstanding, I also have many questions.
Well, so do I, but we can't all find out how many chunks of wood can fuck in an oven.
Then let's start with something even Miss Sonia can understand. The weapon. Well, the weapon is obvious, right?
Gravity, because I
Well-
said so.
I think most people would chuck a wooden oven. How would you even do that? It'd just catch on fire.
Scandinavian engineering.
What the heck, you guys? The weapon! You can totally tell just by looking.
I mean, like,
Is Discord dead, or are you just considering?
did I die?
Yes.
Did Discord really like? I went on a whole rant and being able to
Ranch.
replicate, and Discord just decided to just remove it from my everything. Oh,
Yes.
how dare it!
Also,
With its casino night, everything.
also,
The
Hajime
weapon
really
was
wants me
right
to
there
talk
at
about the
scene of
hammer, so
crime.
That pillar, huh?
Dude, how did you
No,
do
the
that
hammer!
last time?
The killer
Something
used
really
the hammer.
specific, so that it'll never. I guess it'll be the casino night beta version of the stage, and then like it just was. Tess, stop! Ow!
I can't accept that hammer was the murder weapon.
also I
My
love how we
point
objected to
exactly.
the phrase "beat the crap."
Why not? Why can't you accept it?
But yeah,
He didn't beat the crap out of him. He beat the shit out of him. Huge difference.
Blood, right?
exactly.
The hammer was used to beat Nekomaru. You'd expect some oil to be on it at least.
Plus, he can withstand a bazooka to the chest. I think it's going to take more than just a hammer to swear to Chekhov will knock his block off.
But that hammer was clean. So
Like,
that's why you can't accept that it's the murder
So,
weapon.
if they were framing the hammer as the murder weapon, you would have thought they'd try a bit harder.
Well, yeah, but the killer might have wiped off the oil later.
Why?
Well, obviously, to make the hammer look like it's not the murder weapon.
Then why bother cleaning the oil? If they didn't want it to look suspicious, they would have discarded the hammer.
Hell's bells, Kazuichi. Stay on top of
Pretty
shit.
insightful, baby gangsta.
Oh my god, I ship it.
Baby gangster? Me?
I kind of want to steal that thing from game theory where whenever there's an ellipsis in dialogue, the assumption is just that the character's vomiting. So, Kazuichi thinking about Akane and Fuyuhiko doing the do.
Just so you all know, I was trying to test you guys.
How do you
I
voice an
thought
exclamation point
maybe
then?
you guys mistook the hammer for the weapon or something.
Oh! Or wing!
Seems that was a waste of time.
Then what was the real weapon used to murder Nekomaru?
Gravity.
That's the problem. There wasn't anything else at the crime scene that looked like a potential weapon.
Then, how about we look at it from a different angle?
Like above.
If it doesn't have oil on it, it's not the weapon. So whatever has oil on it must be the weapon, right?
I see.
Clearly Nekomaru's body was the weapon used to kill Nekomaru's body.
Oil on it.
Hifumi's
I
pants.
pulled off his hand and whacked him upside the head with it. Turns out, when you become a robot, your bulge gets relocated to your arm. Who knew?
With that pillar.
When your tongue swells up in front of your eye teeth, you can't see what you're saying.
Nobody could withstand
Which
a
is a
blow from
problem that
killer.
fixes itself.
Or is it?
Even if you used 100%
Yeah,
of your
I'm pretty
muscle
sure it is.
strength, it would be impossible to wield it as a weapon.
Why?
We tried to move it, right?
It's a very chunky mother of a pillar. And it has to be stupidly heavy, otherwise it would tip over when it's doing elevatory things. Gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, that pillar was pretty freaking heavy. But there's one dude who could have lifted that pillar.
Huh? Who are you talking about?
Jesus. It can only be Jesus.
Coach Nekomaru's robot body.
Divine
With that dude's
intervention.
super strength, lifting a pillar would be real easy.
Ah, yes. Find someone and turn all of their body water into wine. That was one of Tristan's books, and it was... It was. It certainly was a book.
He lifted the pillar, and then what?
It was good.
Now, I know that
Use it to
people
beat himself?
inject alcohol into their bloodstream to get high, apparently. Have you ever heard of people doing that, first of all?
Nekomaru killed himself?
Don't be stupid.
Apparently, when you run
Attempt
out of
to
the
commit
heroin, you
suicide.
can just start injecting yourself with alcohol, and it has the same effect.
Not that you know, of course.
Then even if Nekomaru
Yeah.
it has nothing to
I'm
do
a
with the
clean
case at all.
little individual person. I swear. I've never done anything wrong. I've never touched myself at night. Anyway,
Yes, you're right.
where was I going with this? Right, if you changed all of your bloodstream water into alcohol, would you get like the world's biggest high?
Or the world's biggest low. Because it would cross the line
Discord.
twice.
But that's a problem.
Discord
If it's
is
not the pillar,
is
then
not
there's no other
being
weapon we can think of.
particularly cooperational. So I'm just
There
gonna
may
assume
be
you
a
said the
way to
world's
use
biggest
pillar
boner.
as a weapon without lifting it.
You know me so well.
Huh? For reals?
Yes. For
Well,
real.
I mean, taken out of context, I suppose it could
See?
still be very true.
So my
yes.
gut was right after all. All right, it's up to you, Sonia. Prove that pillar was the murder weapon.
Also,
Understood.
was that
I shall
intentionally
give it
like
my
a
all.
whatever the word is for, like a kid's show, like yeah, you know me so well, I'm a big kid now, that kind of thing.
I was actually going for I Know Him So Well from the musical Chess, but yeah, sure, that works too.
Sonia, here I go.
I'm a big kid now at Sears. Sorry, feel like I got my slogans crossed there. Slogans don't matter anymore. Wendy is life.
Gonna go with pillar fragments because they were talking about things that pillar.
There's no need to lift that pillar.
The pillar was not lifted. Beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over?
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Because Sonia is a strong, independent woman who don't need no object permanence.
If Nekomaru was crushed by the pillar, then there should have been fragments on top of his body.
That too. I was just like, what else? We can't have been talking about the tipped over pillar because we're already like that won't be evidence to itself. But the fragments relate to it. Like this makes sense in my head.
Huh? Fragments?
I'm good at this, I swear. You know me.
The pillar fragments were scattered beneath.
I mean, I
Nekomaru's
do,
but there weren't any on top.
Very
of this.
well. But
If the pillar had been tipped over and crushed it, the fragments should have been on top of
oh,
the
is it a
fragments.
royalty thing? I was actually thinking more just that Sonia just straight up was like pulling an anime, you know?
See,
Like,
I was feeling that also.
Who's gonna stop me? 1! Red Ranger! 2!
Considered that too.
Blue Ranger! She was
probably
like,
not
Sonia! It's the same thing. It's like shouting double boost after every
That
time
was
you do
entirely
anything.
My bad.
Sorry, go on.
If they didn't tip it over, then how did the killer murder Nekomaru with that pillar?
Are we just gonna have another a stream of occasionally dropping frames hither, thither, and whence?
How much longer are you gonna focus on the pillar?
Only
Just
on
let
Sunday.
it go already.
But Kazuichi, the pillar was sort of the murder weapon.
There's no way I can let it go. I'm positive that Nekomaru was killed by that pillar.
It's a killer pillar.
Why are you so certain about that?
I just have a feeling.
That tonight's gonna be a good. I hate that song.
A feeling, huh? That's just your instincts.
But we can't say for sure that that instinct is wrong, can we?
I'm sorry, why? If
Why?
we may get into that and have a controversial opinion.
Why whomst?
There's another way to use that pillar to kill. You guys just haven't noticed it.
Why whomstive?
Is that true?
Then I shall ask you, what way is that?
You guys.
You just sound so depressed in this chapter. At the very least in
You're
this trial.
unable to clear a path to the future with your own powers, so you just stand there and falter. What a waste of talent. And you all intend to fight the Future Foundation? You make me laugh.
You're lucky that people on both sides of you are dead, otherwise someone would clearly bitch slap your face.
I'm starting to think that Nagito was really looking at Hajime as like the one true ultimate or something like that. And now that he's not belittling us because he really hates us that much now that we're not ultimate. He's belittling us because he sees it as a weakness in his own dream of us all being ultimate. Which is going to be a perfect conclusion to chapter 5 and where he's killed in that,
Hey,
I'm sure,
Nagito.
because you said
What
so.
the hell happened to you? How come you're not talking like a lunatic anymore?
Carry on.
Freaka coming in from downtown with a fucking spitting the truth.
I've learned a valuable lesson. Ignorance is by far the greatest shame.
What do you mean?
Who cares? Just tell us how the pillar was used to kill.
Well, first of all, the pillar itself is not enough. But when combined with a specific item, there's a way it could be possible.
Is gravity an item? I'm not gonna let this go.
A specific item?
Of course, the ultimate weapon.
Ultimate weapon? Isn't that the thing you get when you clear the final dead room?
Isn't the ultimate weapon just the window, which I'm assuming proves the layout of the buildings, which then, there you go. Drop it.
So, Nagito knows what the ultimate weapon is?
Meow.
Of course I know, but I'm pretty sure everyone
So much
else
of
has
this
seen
game
it, you know?
is far more willing to be Japanese than the first game.
We've seen it?
How so?
That's right. You've seen
The
it
final killing room! Like,
Um,
just stuff like that feels... sorry, let me try that again. The final killing room! It just feels all more like everything gets, like, official titles. People are far more obsessed with honorifics. A lot of stuff that they either eked out of the first game or intentionally didn't write into the first game to have a more worldwide appeal. And I'm not sure which is the case.
I imagine that. Well, this game's more willing at the very least because there was that thing a trial or two ago where Gundam was like, yeah, well, at least my surname isn't super common, like Suzuki. And it's like, how the fuck would anyone apart from a Japanese person know that?
It's only fitting that
Da,
I
da, da,
deserve
da.
to be called the ultimate weapon.
Puppy power.
You are far greater than the ultimate weapon. Since you wield
Something
your four dark
absorbs
devil
souls of the
destruction.
innocents. Anyway, where were we?
Yodeling into a napkin.
That's
I
right.
see.
That's right. How could I forget?
I don't know why, but I'm not liking this.
Because Gundam's stealing your girl.
cut the bullshit and say it clearly. What is the ultimate weapon?
In order to
I
clarify
love how
that,
Sonya is
we
like
first need
totally
to solve the
in with
secret of the
Gundam there.
funhouse.
That's very cute.
She's just precious.
Huh? The secret of the funhouse?
It's a bagel.
You still don't realize
Like it actually makes Gundam
Jeez,
like
get it
that much
together.
better
You're supposed to be the symbols
to
of
have
hope,
Sonya to
aren't
bounce
you?
off of. I really like that.
Ah, I
Oh,
forgot.
she's gonna.
Except for
Yes,
Hajime,
Captain.
of course.
Not literally
for
though.
Hajime?
That's
If
gonna
we
be
make
good.
it out of this,
Anyway.
I'll explain it to you guys.
Anyway, we must first
I love how
clarify
they're
the secret of
really,
the
really
funhouse, right?
lowballing Hajime's lack of an ultimate talent. Like, I'll explain it to you later, and they're just like, okay, hang on, if you look at those hearts upside down, they do kind of look like testicles, but like if you use the thingy tool in Photoshop to just swap the penis out of existence, and that's what you're left with.
Then I think it must have something to do with the structure of the funhouse.
See, that's kind of what I had in mind. Only I'm
Strawberry
far
House
more
leads to Strawberry Tower, and
inclined to
Grape House
see
leads to
ass
Grape
cheeks with
Tower.
like a big veiny
Oy.
inner work, but I suppose it does kind of more look like a sack of ballish nature.
Anyway, so when I was explaining my idea to Austin, like, last week, I took this diagram, but, like, rotated it so that, like, Strawberry House fits perfectly on top of Grape House, but, like, with space to spare, which is the space you access by going through the fucking final dead room. So, like, it works. In my mind, anyway.
But in actuality,
And yeah,
they're
go ahead,
both
Elliot.
the same building, and both houses are linked to the central tower. It is undeniable that such a sweet building structure is the secret of the funhouse.
What the fuck was that, Sonya?
Man, not only does that make perfect sense, but Miss Sonia's beautiful voice is just so soothing.
Faux show! I shall leave this matter to your discretion.
I love her even more. And he's like, whee! See, this is what we're talking about. Like, all the other evidence is irrelevant. We're talking about feeling strange on a Wednesday.
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
Hold up a
No, that's wrong.
Hold up a fuck. We got that strange feeling, yo.
Both of those towers, are they really the same place?
I mean,
Oh, what a feeling when you're dancing on the ceiling.
like, they are, but they aren't because verticality.
Why are you asking that now? Do you harbor a grudge because my kingdom destroyed your homeland?
Calm the fuck down, Croatia!
Hajime, I won't tolerate any sort of rebellion.
I mean,
Damn it,
doesn't
Candy
it seem
Crush, you don't
strange?
understand politics.
When we went to Grape Tower from Grape Hall, Nekomaru's body was in front of the door to Strawberry Hall. But when we went to Strawberry Tower from Strawberry
Kind of
Hall,
Occam's
his body
razor
was in front of
situation.
door
The
to
easiest way
Grape
to
Hall.
explain the rotating room is that it doesn't rotate, it's just our perception of reality is wrong.
It's
I wonder if they're actually gonna
probably
show
some kind
like
of
the red
trick,
tower
like
like rotating around
floor
since they're
rotating
spending so much
180
time on this
degrees or
map.
Like, clearly they'll level it up to a
If it is,
fully fledged,
then
like,
see?
3D
That
fucking
means it
Blender
could've
animation.
passed as the exact same place, right?
It's
Yeah,
so
but Blender's
then
hard to work
what? You
with.
seriously think such a
I don't like
simple
fruit
answer is the
smoothies.
correct answer?
Does that mean
Will
he's
it smoothie?
wrong?
Oops, I guess I've said too much. If the floor didn't rotate,
I don't know why,
that
but
means we need to think about the
whatever the
structure of the building again.
lime scale, rust, cellophane, and will it blend? Like the two of those to me sound like identical.
clean up cellophane?
Bow down.
Nope, Sonya's having a moment.
Then how about this? Somebody
I'm
move
sorry.
Nekomaru's
I heard
body.
While we were moving from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower,
It's called
we should've all
cellophane,
been
isn't
during
it?
that time. Even if they tried to move the body
Oh, dear.
inside the tower.
Monokuma did it. While we were moving, Monokuma quickly moved things around.
But Nekomaru's body wasn't the only thing moved. Are you saying the broken pillar was
Carry
moved
on.
too?
If it is too heavy to carry, let them roll it.
Out of context, it just sounds like she's advocating for drug use. And I was about to say that as well, Elliot. Like Sonya interjects by just saying, bow down! Kneel, fuckers!
Just like if there is no bread, let them eat cake.
There it is. Fight me, my friend. But bearing in mind everything that's been talking about, oil, that's the hardest thing to move because it was on the fucking floor.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved despite a decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Like we had the time to do that. Okay, that was good
Moving the
enough.
body and the pillar in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
Also fair, Elliot.
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene.
Not everything.
Allow me to cut through those words.
I'm a really big fan of Sonia's general disposition. Like, she's not an argumentative individual.
It would have been impossible to move the oil on the floor.
I was gonna say just everything about her. But
Well, naturally, of course.
but yeah, like you can't move that oil splodge. Which reminds me,
When the position of
a while
Nekomaru's
ago,
body and the pillar
Austin,
changed,
we were talking
the oil
about
surrounding his
my
body
names
too.
for various breeds of Pikmin and how we already have Steve, Steven, Stavros, Stuvlet, and Etienne. But if and when I get to Pikmin 2, I will introduce Stump and Stodge. It's just perfect.
Physically moving all of the oil like that is simply not possible, no matter how you look.
What was the one I was misspelling cyanide for
Yeah.
white, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm obsessive over that only
It's
just
impossible
because
to
I
think it was
was
moved.
really proud of the fact that bad spelling can be used as a pun. Never mind.
It's okay if you dress it up as an idiosyncratic spelling.
I am terribly
I do
sorry.
love internal.
I'm not an
imagining-
idiot.
Not so fired up.
Syncratic spell.
Doe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really
Doe.
am enjoying. I really am enjoying internally imagining the characters vomiting whenever they do the three dots. So just Sonia.
It's all right. A fired up Miss Sonia.
Oh, I'm just imagining them trying to sing Smash Mouth now.
So what really
Oh dear.
happened? Does that mean the two towers aren't the same building?
You know that thing where like your body naturally rejects All Star every time you try to sing it?
We can't
Is
be
there a
certain
pun
of
coming,
that
or is this
either.
just a statement?
Oh, it's
Nothing
just a
is definite
statement.
involving the handbook I left on the tower floor. with-
Somebody once told me the world was.
Donkey.
The e-handbook was still I thought the two towers were the same.
Layers!
If they're not the same building or two different buildings, then what are they?
A piece of toast.
The ham.
And a ham.
No idea, huh?
I just realized, with all the buffering that Chiaki does when you talk to her normally, she must have thrown up about 57,000 times at this point in the story. Assuming you buy into that headcanon.
Can you imagine how much of that I have to clean up?
I keep forgetting how fucking short Hyoko's portrait is.
I mean, it's perfect, right? It totally fits with her.
Nagito.
The notion of speaking to Nagito just makes Hajime throw up.
I
It's
thought it
precious.
would come to this.
It's short, it's cute, and nobody else but me likes it.
Fine. I'll tell you guys a big hint that can help you.
Hey, that
solve
also
the
goes for
secret
Sonic
of the
Forces.
funhouse.
Ha ha!
Give us the answer, not a friggin' hint.
But then it wouldn't mean anything. I need you guys to do this class trial properly. It's also important for me because it will help me determine something.
Determined these nuts.
Oh, Nagato, I love you. I very much warmed up to him in this past trial.
But how do we know your hint is any
Maybe it's
good?
part of getting inside the head of
suspicious that
someone
you're the
who's
only one who
equally
knows it.
insane and also a potential murderer. But,
I have a good reason
you know.
for that. The reason I'm the only one who knows it is because I was the only one who performed the appropriate action.
Oh, he's just talking about Roland Rochette. He was the
Struggled a bit
only
to get
one
that
who
out,
did
didn't
Tai
you?
Chi.
You're talking about the final dead room, right?
What did you say?
struggled a bit to get that one out, didn't you?
You cleared the life-threatening game there and found something. didn't you?
Roland Rochette.
Yes.
That's
Does
right.
sound like a
Hint is what I saw after I
you
cleared.
know, like a baked dish, like a something cross between like a calzone and a dumpling, but like big.
Oh, so not a roulade then.
Yeah, basically.
In the depths of the final dead room, there was a hidden room
What?
surrounded
Yes,
by
exactly.
concrete.
What? But yeah, basically.
And there, a small conspicuous window waited, all by itself. From that window, I saw some very strange scenery.
Strange scenery?
Instead of explaining it, it might be faster just to show you.
How could you show me with your gonad hair?
At an opportune time, I found a perfect camera in the final dead room.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fucking points for ingenuity there, breadhead.
You took a picture?
Yep. See?
So
This is
he
it.
made the final dead room unsolvable by doing that to anyone who came after him. That is just that's the absolute dickmaster obstrepulousity that he would fashoom.
Let me explain it to you again. I took this picture on the first floor of Strawberry House, from the secret room within the final dead room.
Well, this does seem to confirm that Strawberry House is off the ground, and since we can't see a massive fucking hexagon in the distance, I would hazard a guess and say that I was right.
But don't you think it's weird? If the funhouse's structure is what you guys have been thinking,
Bearing in mind the elevator went 180 degrees as well.
then there's lots of things that don't make sense in this picture, right? Then let's begin. Shall I call it thinking time?
It's funny because that's a thing that happens in the in Psyche Taxi in V3, which I still haven't played yet, but it's in the demo. Thinking time, as they say it. That's the minigame that you play whilst it plays the butt plug song. Well, trees everywhere. So many fucking trees.
You said this photo was taken from the hidden room inside the final dead room, right? If that's the case, then that means it should have been
I mean, you
taken from
can
the first
kind of
floor
see
Strawberry.
the structure below.
Yeah, it should have been.
Then this is definitely strange.
See, I haven't made up my mind yet. But then again, I've only played the Psyche Taxi in the demo, so I don't know how bad it gets. Bearing in mind, last time I did
This photo
Logic
doesn't look
Dive,
like it
or
was taken from
whatever
the
it's
first floor.
called, I sort of
Angles
freaked
suggest
out
it was taken
because
from
air
higher
conditioners.
I see. And is
No, that was
it?
the first case, wasn't it?
I mean, there's the lack of hexagon over in the background, which sort of proves that directions.
If the structure of the funhouse is what we thought it was,
I like the aesthetic of the Logic Dive, though.
Grape House and Strawberry
But
House should
why
lead
not
to
just
the
have
tower
both in the
middle,
same game? Like I've been writing. No. Well, yes,
Which
but
means,
time
if you're
limits.
viewing the tower from Strawberry House, you should see Grape House behind you. But in
I'm
this
sure you
photo,
could make like a
I don't
video
see
about
anything
your
behind the
plans
tower.
to.
No shadow, no
What-
shape.
How would you even phrase that without it making it sound terrible? You can't just go in and be like, yeah, your plan's to kill off all your friends, because that just sounds terrible, right?
Yeah, you're the only one I could talk to about it without me
That's
sounding
right.
like a total psychopath.
Call.
Exactly.
In summary, this is the truth.
Enjoy
contained
the
in this
stream,
photo.
everybody!
The first floor of Strawberry House is located in a high area, and Grape House is not behind the tower.
It's not? Are you saying that Grape House is merely an illusion spell cast by Monokuma's cursed eye?
From this point on, do your own thinking. Now that you've finally met the same requirements as me,
You've
if you
unlocked
guys
the
are
Dark
truly
Chow Garden.
Symbols of hope. You
Just
can
'cause
easily solve a
I distinctly
simple mystery
recall
like this.
Somewhere in Sonic Adventure 2, just there being some sort of hint that other Chow Gardens will open when you meet certain requirements, and it took me so fucking long to realize all that meant was just raise the appropriate type of Chow. I thought it was like, oh, hey, I should beat a level whilst having a Chow Garden key and whilst holding an object. Like, I would try to finish Dry Lagoon whilst holding one of the things you pick up to get a small animal out of in like somewhere that happens to be next to where an emerald shard spawns and it's fucking... I was a special child.
It might be possible for Hajime to solve it too.
See, I thought you were gonna go like an extra step with that. Like, it's gotta be on mission 4, and the countdown has to specifically end with 2 even digits, not including 0.
You know about the other clue.
Well, here's the thing about that that's really weird. I distinctly remember I didn't realize that Chow Gardens couldn't have more than 8 Chow, so I bought a 9th Chow, and it kicked my second favorite Chow out of the garden permanently. And he apparently moved off.
Just fucking take him up to the edge of the normal Chow Garden in SA2 and just fucking punt over the side, because how dare you?
So for... Huh?
I feel like Discord had a moment, but... If you just picture how chaos exists and is the guardian of the Chow, yeah, that's more or less where I'm at. You fuck with a Chow, I fuck with your life.
Something can't hold on much longer.
You're referring to when you suddenly appeared
Anyway.
on the second floor of
Hang
Grape
on.
House, right?
Teleport, Nagito. That's a reference to a
I'm
reference.
asking you just to be safe. At the time, where do you think I came from?
The top floor, right?
Mario,
Sharp
go fish!
eyes. So you realized it already.
Top floor. So the third floor?
But the Monokuma Archive should be the only room on the 3rd floor of Grape House.
What does it mean?
It has something to do with the shape of the house, I would have thought, bearing in mind how it's all laid out. Oh, speaking of Logic Dive, it is, yeah, okay, it is. I can never remember because the music for it is called Dive Drive. So, what the fuck is it called? Anyway, hold on. Accelerate. Okay, I can never remember the controls for this. Okay. Okay.
I just love the fact that apparently Japan just has an obsession with diving. Because there's this, and there's the dream dives in Kingdom Hearts.
I wouldn't know. These things always make me so full of, okay, how was I supposed to see that coming? Fucking appearing out of the universe. Fucking bumping my ass on the face. But, of course they both... What the fuck kind of question is that? Do they both exist? We've been there the entire fucking... Stop doing this with the appearance. No! No, game! No! Ah, my rutabagas. Ah! Ah! Well, I've been pushing for them being the same building the whole time, so... Now we will find out once and for all. The fact that that path is correct makes me think thoughts about my teeth. I sure do have them.
I would suck at this.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you would suck my teeth? Like, Austin, I didn't know you felt that way.
No. I would suck your tits. Jeez, Tess.
Well, I've been saying the vertical, so they are verticality. Boogie boogie. Ah, there's more! Okay, there we go. Platforming, it is a thing. But can we just take a second to appreciate that first statement, though? Do they both exist? No. Oh my god, Hajime, you can't just ask people why they're here.
It's all coming together.
I mean, the whole thing's the Matrix, so no, neither of them exist.
Got it. I know the secret of the funhouse.
Then let me hear it. What kind of answer will you give, I wonder?
Well, they exist is a very
The picture Nagito
poorly
took from
worded
Strawberry
question
House. I
because
didn't see Grape
what
House
if
at
they're both one building? Then they don't individually exist. One building that exists. There isn't a Strawberry House and a Grape House. There's the Strawberry and Grape House building.
So where did Grape House go?
So no, they don't exist. Watch.
There is only one possibility.
Samurai Jack,
It was in
back
a
to the
position
past,
where it can be
and
seen from
Homerai
Strawberry
Jack.
House.
That's how I heard the lyrics of that theme song, by the way.
Which means Strawberry House and Grape House are in the same building, but on
I
different
was right!
floors.
Same building, different floors?
Then the two houses aren't two different 3-story buildings. They're actually one 6-story building?
If you think about it like that, based on Nagito's picture, it's clear where Strawberry House is located.
It's above.
I see! On top of Grape House. That's where Strawberry House is located.
When did I lose health? Or was it because I bumped into a thing in the dive drive? Because I'm missing a tiny fuck of health. I'm not sure where it went.
You went into the dive drive with a tiny
Because of
fucking
that,
health missing.
The photo taken
When did I
from
lose
the
it?
first floor
Where-
of Strawberry House was at a high
I don't
angle.
know. I'm not
Altogether,
rewatching this to
means the
find
first floor of
out.
Strawberry House is also the 4th floor above Grape House.
Oh, snap. I never expected that the two houses were connected vertically.
I love it when Sonia tries to be cool. It's so endearing.
But what about the shape of the building? The two houses were completely different shapes.
Oh, were they?
Strawberry House is 4-sided, and Grape House is 6-sided.
When did she pick up on all this vernacular?
It never occurred to us that they were the same building because it was structured with two different shapes. A quadrilateral and a hexagon.
Woo!
Overlaid atop each other to misdirect how we would perceive them.
Ba-da-da-da!
Worked, didn't
Oh
it?
shit. 3D. We had 3D. We've got 3D, Austin.
Disregarding the tower, we fully believe the two houses were two separate, distinct buildings.
See if Dickie Fresh can do it. Why can't,
Monokuma put us to sleep so we couldn't look at the outside of the building when he brought us to it.
Oh yeah, I also worked out why we couldn't date Chiaki during this chapter, because all of her dates so far have involved her taking to places, and we can't go to places when we're inside the funhouse.
You've just been Kuma'd!
Da-da-da-da!
Don't you think a building full of so many surprises totally deserves to be called a fun house?
Then it's true? The building was really like that?
That's right! Those two houses exist on different floors in the same building!
Constructing a building like that on your own?
Konami, are you gonna be freaking out the whole chapter? Cause you haven't
Then what about
stopped
the
since this
towers?
thing
Are
began.
they arranged vertically just like the houses?
Well, Maragoma did threaten to turn her into curry. Also, yeah, that brings us back to the towers, and what I was saying about how the floor just goes and
Yeah, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower should have also been different floors inside the same building. Just like Strawberry House was on top of Grape House.
getting more
Strawberry
3D, by
Tower
the
was
way.
also on
Took a
top
moment
of
to
Grape
register.
Tower.
However, if they're different floors within the same building, why was Nekomaru's body in both places?
Aw, your precious hammies don't know? But it's so simple.
Candy Crush, stop trying to be like Broccoli Head.
Alrighty then. I'll be the one who solves this mystery in a flash. Please watch me, Miss Sonia.
Oh, I see. Do whatever you like.
I'll definitely make her watch me. I'm gonna stand out till she notices me.
It's tragic because Kazuichi's being a dick, but I still like him. He's so innocent.
Well, he's a fun kind of dick, because I'm pretty sure he's thinking with the wrong kind of head, and it kind of adds the extra layer of fun to his character.
I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
The punchline is penis.
Hurry up,
Hi.
dumbass.
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy.
Nope. No. Let me object. There we
No,
go.
that's wrong.
They can't have been a dummy because they were both. Everything was the same.
Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy. That can be proven by Kazuichi's account.
Because we went and.
Me?
Remember? When we moved from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower, we thought the body had moved. And that's when you said,
Oh yeah, there was that.
right up until that moment, you were disassembling Nekomaru's body at Grape Tower, right? The killer couldn't have known how you'd take apart his body, so they couldn't have built a dummy.
That makes more sense than I was thinking. I was just thinking, we've established that it was the same, so there can't have been a dummy.
Unless Kazuichi was the one who built the dummy, then it would be a different story.
Oh, shade!
Miss Sonia, that's a pretty harsh joke. You are joking, right?
It's alright. Kazuichi is not the killer. If he was, he wouldn't have fixed the elevator or the button in Strawberry Hall.
But what if he did just to fuck with your heads, but he didn't?
It'd be much more convenient
didn't
for the
not.
killer if it stayed broken.
He's not the killer. He has to survive until the end of the game, damn it.
I see. That is disappointing.
I'm even more disappointed.
However, even if Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy, it's meaningless if we don't have the important answer.
The reason Nekomaru's
Sonia, I love you.
Meow.
even though it was supposed to be on different floors.
Maybe it was simply moved?
The body moved to a different floor?
The floor moved to a different floor.
You can't think of a
What we
device
in-
like that? A device that
I was gonna
moves
say,
us to
what we in the
different
business call an
floors in the
elevator.
same
Or a
building?
lift. Oh, Hajime. Hajime, really? Really, Hajime? Hajime, really? Yeah, no, but he's making me spell. He's making me spell elevator, or lift. No elevator. Hang on. What? What is the right? Right. Okay. Since when is the special move? What the fuck is that? I mean, it's too little, too late, but still. Okay. Well, there's an L. There's another L.
E.
There's the E. Yeah, that wasn't so bad. Just that giving the letters in the wrong order. There we go. Nowhere near as stressful as some of the previous
Talking
ones.
about an elevator.
Hajime, did that seriously take you like 2.5 minutes to figure out?
Yeah.
What? Are you saying Nekomaru's body was transported using an elevator?
Where the hell is this elevator anyway?
It's the tower itself.
Da-da-da-da!
The inside of the tower is one big elevator. Which means the tower was designed so that the whole room goes up and down like an elevator.
As I said.
So whether you enter from Strawberry Hall or Grape Hall, it all leads to the same room, right?
I was right about everything.
So that's why we could only
Which
enter
means that
from one
Gundam has
side
to be
or
the killer.
other.
Now that you mention it, sometimes when I pressed the door button, it took a while for it to open.
I see. We were basically waiting for the room to arrive, just like an elevator.
Please hold on. If the inside of the whole tower ascends and descends like an elevator, then why is there a picture of a strawberry on the far back door when you enter from Grape Tower?
To fuck with your head, obviously. It's a funhouse.
And a picture of a grape on the far back door when you enter from Strawberry Tower?
If the room just moves up and down like an elevator, there's no reason for the doors to change.
Plus, after the incident, the far back door in Grape Tower had chains wrapped around it, right?
Now, I will just dive in and say, I like how this trial is progressing, sort of. Because, like, if this were in the first game, I would be kind of disappointed. But setting-wise, like, because it's the second game, I'm more okay with them spending this long talking about the location, specifically because they're not constrained to the inside of a school, and so they get to get away with, oh look, you're free to move everywhere except for in this chapter, now solve this chapter. Like that, I'm okay with, if that made any sense at all. But that would only work in a sequel.
I actually like how they're handling the whole idea of new locations in this chapter compared to the first game. Do you remember? I don't remember what part it was of your stream, but it was somewhere near the end I started really harping on the game because it bothered me so much that this is a game where the school is gigantic and none of the cases ever reused areas.
Which
the
is something that I
incinerator
fixed in what I was writing.
Yeah, well, exactly. The incinerator was never even brought up again after case 1. It's like, why? It's
Wasted
the
potential.
perfect tool.
There are two
Yeah,
really
exactly.
strange things.
This, however,
Is that
at least
tower
feels
really
like,
an
well,
elevator?
if the killings are taking place so far away from one another, if anything does involve a previous island at all,
then it's going to be very tangential. Maybe where you go on a date with Chiaki kind of thing. As opposed to very specifically, like, I don't know, relying on a single room in the school for the entire plot of the kill. This makes a lot more sense if they are more spread out. Plus, this chapter locking you off just adds variety to the fact that you are locked off from so much more.
Which then allows them to talk about it to such great length in the trial, whereas in the first game that would just be tedious.
Exactly. Especially since it's a school and like what? There's like a room that's also an elevator in a school. That could actually make sense. I feel like maybe this chapter was attempting to recreate the feeling of the enclosure of the first game, maybe. And that's also why they set it up inside this trick house.
Is it safe to say
I don't know.
all
So
the
they could fuck
items on
with
the
stuff
floor
like
didn't
this.
change?
And?
Yeah.
And?
Why did the picture on the far back door change? If you can figure
It
that
also
out,
kind of
you'll
plays
have
off
the
our
answer.
expectations based on the first game. So, premise-wise,
The
this
reason
game
is
has so
because
far been
that
blowing the
elevator
first
has
game out of the
something
water,
unique about
as
it.
far as I'm concerned.
But I would say this game would not stand up anywhere near as well if it didn't have the first game to bounce off. Like, if this was the first game and that was
Then
the
it-
sequel, then it wouldn't work at all.
Then again, I think that goes for a lot of really good franchises, is that they need to be built up by other games, even if those games are bad.
The elevator was
If that
designed so
makes
only
any
the floor
sense.
moved.
Only the floor moved?
I thought we'd established that only
And
the
I mean,
floor
that's
moved.
not saying the first game's bad either. Huh?
Like, I thought we'd established that the floor moved the entire time, because,
Which
like,
means the whole room wasn't an elevator. Only the floor was.
I thought this was obvious, but they're talking about it like it isn't, so...
That's why we saw different doors in each tower.
Was that not
Which
obvious?
means on the first floor of Grape Tower, the door on the far back wall had a strawberry design. And on the fourth floor, which was Strawberry Tower, a different door on the far back wall had a grape design.
He said far back wall a bit quickly there. Like, not even suspiciously, but just, hey, voice actor, give that line another go.
Then where do the different
Foolish
floors
fool.
lead?
Oh. Hello, Francisco von Karma.
I want to say they lead outside, but they're probably just for show.
Just for show. Why was something like that necessary?
Maybe the one in Grape Tower led to outside, and then the upstairs one was just a fire escape.
So we'd falsely believe that the doors were connected to where their picture signified.
That's why. What if someone had started a fire
was
in one of the
actually
buildings and
very
that and killed
effective.
someone that way?
Because of that, we totally misunderstood the building's structure.
I don't get it. But I guess it means whoever designed this building had a totally twisted personality.
Did you hear that, Monami?
Don't blame this on me. Take responsibility for yourself.
Then I'll take responsibility and gently caress you.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Like, there's no way that's gonna happen. Stop with the tasteless jokes.
By the way, what does the chain on the far back door in Grape Tower mean?
Oh my god.
It
Oh
was
my god.
Probably wrapped there by the killer.
Oh my god!
Strawberry Tower is possible.
Why?
Oh!
You guys thought you could.
I actually predicted something that came true. I'm so happy about this.
I'd say I'm rubbing off on you, but ahem.
No, you've been doing that for a while. No, I said back in case 1, the whole point of having Minami here to see Monokuma completely, like, decimate everyone's hope was so that she would no longer be a symbol of hope at all. Not only did he corrupt her appearance, but he's slowly corrupting her personality as well. By the final case, she'll just be another Monokuma. And so far, so good.
The killer destroyed the strawberry
When they
Hall, but
talked about
so
Monami,
we'd
they
stay
sort
away
of
from
used her
Strawberry
synonymously with the traitor. And if Chiaki is the traitor and she does die in the next chapter, then surely Monami's gonna go poopy bye-bye with her.
Everything was done to tamper with the evidence, so we wouldn't find out about the secret of the funhouse.
Those popping noises just sound like the menu selection sounds from Clone Wars games.
I'm sorry, it's been a while. I'll get back. I'll brush up on my da na 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 da na 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 da.
In
Da
that
da da
situation,
da
if
da.
we'd gone to
Eventually,
Strawberry
I
Tower,
swear.
we'd have seen that contradiction firsthand. And using that as a clue, we might have discovered the truth. The truth that the two houses and the two towers are actually one complete vertical building.
But there is sort of the problem
The killer
of
wanted to keep us from learning
of
that.
the elevator that
That's
turns
why they
180
made us stay
degrees,
away
which
from Strawberry Tower.
I'm assuming just goes around the outside of the building, constantly facing inwards. But then, when I said Austin the 2D diagram of like the top-down strawberry on top of grape, I'd lined up the elevator doors with each other because that's how I thought it would be, which then gives plenty of room for the final dead room armory thing to exist. But they're implying that it's perfectly centered, so
They destroyed the button and wrapped a chain around the door just for that?
Would it really have inconvenienced the killer if we learned the true structure of the building?
Discord.
If the structure is inherent in the way the killing was carried out, then yes,
It
Sonia,
would have
yes.
been a major inconvenience. After all, this funhouse is strongly connected to the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru.
Hold on. You're progressing much too quickly. There's still a contradiction concerning the building structure.
What a pain. It's fine already.
Gundam, please proceed.
She wants the G. Kazuichi, meanwhile.
You said earlier that Strawberry House and Grape House are connected vertically, right? If so, how does the contact elevator supposedly transport us from one house to the other?
It goes up and down and also round.
If that elevator moves vertically...
But it doesn't, because according to this diagram, either Grape House's elevator is on the front side and Strawberry on the back, or vice versa, because the way that we've put Strawberry House on top of Grape House is we've twisted it around, not just flipped it over. So they're on opposing walls. Again, why is this difficult for you people?
When your back is facing the elevator, both towers should be on the same side. But does this reflect reality?
Yes.
I'm assuming you're gonna have another word thing where it's gonna come up as spiral, right?
On your right when your back is to
Wouldn't that
the
be too
elevator.
straightforward? That wasn't intentional, by the way.
And inside Strawberry House, Strawberry Hall is on your left when you're back.
Yes, it was. Take credit for that one, Tess. That was really good.
Meow.
Which means the houses are on exact opposite sides of the tower.
See, Gundam, this is obvious, which makes it very suspicious that you're trying to make us be fooled by this.
Answer me, fiend! What does this mean?
What does this mean?
If, say, Kazuichi came to a realization about this and was like, wait, that makes sense, that'd be one thing. But it's specifically the fact that he's like, that's a contradiction. That does make it seem... whatever the word is for it.
Ah, good. We will solve it with a debate, of all things. Okay, we've got accounts. Okay, who said what to whomst? Right, so... Akane heard a noise that's got nothing to do with it. Fuyuhiko did something with Nakamaru. That's... nope. And Kazuichi. That sounds very pertinent.
If the two houses
the
are
compass?
connected vertically,
The elevator should move.
vertically, not horizontally.
They go both!
No, that's wrong.
You fufty foofy face! You fufty
The
foofy face.
elevator wasn't just moving vertically. Isn't that right, Kazuichi?
I mean, I feel like Nagito should get at least some credit for this, because he is the one who made Kazuichi do the thing.
Come on. You used the elevator while you were holding that compass Nagito gave you, right?
Ah, that. Yeah, it was pretty strange. From start to finish, somehow the compass needle rotated 180 degrees.
Rotated 180 degrees?
Meaning, as the elevator moved between the two houses, it also rotated 180
Like how the
degrees.
camera just rotated as well, just because it can.
It was probably following the building's
There we go.
perimeter as it rotated to the other side.
Yeah, explain that in a couple of frames fewer, why don't you? But yeah, this is what I was saying before, like, they're both, like, the elevator entrance, like, one of the like, Strawberry House's elevator would have to be pushed up against the wall that that the Grape House elevator thing isn't on, so that could work. So, like, it's not perfectly centered on top.
Which means the exit would be on the opposite side once you arrived at the other house, right?
And thanks to
Guys,
that,
if you were gonna
the
play this
tower we saw on
animation
our
6
right side when
times,
we
you
arrived
should
at
have
Grape
done a
House
little more on the tweens.
appeared on our left side when we were at Strawberry House.
Dear oh dear.
Elevator that rotates while it moves. Is that even possible? It's like something from an amusement park.
You were in an amusement park!
Well, a funhouse is an amusement park attraction, you know.
Not to mention, it was on the island that is literally at a bit. Fucking hell's bells, people!
And since the building doesn't really need to be structurally practical, it makes for some splendid fun.
That's not splendid at all. You're inhuman.
You don't say, he's a fucking bear.
You say I'm inhuman, but I'm just a bear. So I was never human to begin with.
Which is a little bit furry racist, but for the purposes of this argument, I'll allow it.
I'm different from these lowly humans.
So we're done with the secret of the funhouse, right? Then let's start talking about the important stuff. What's the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru? And how'd they combine it with the pillar?
Using a crafting table.
Huh? You still don't know what the ultimate weapon is yet? It's what I found at the Octagon, you know.
What is the Octagon? I haven't heard about that yet.
Oh my... I can't believe I have to explain that now. As long as you know what an Octagon means, you can solve this simple mystery easily.
You're not gonna ask me what... Really?
I see!
Really? That's seriously... Oh, fucking hell.
An octagon is a shape with 8 sides, right?
I am personally offended by that question.
I didn't expect you to know that.
What?
I guess I should continue listening. Where is the place?
Well, the one thing I'll say is that they don't have a 7-sided polygon, so I'm very appreciative of that. Because then they won't have any arguments over the name.
Yeah. Anyway.
Which do you say, so that we can divide the viewers?
Hold on, I'm solving a puzzle, because I was saying before how it's the dead space around the tower.
Here!
I think...
You're talking about the
I
secret
think
room
my
surrounded by
argument
concrete
has
in the
always
depths of
been
the final dead room.
Septagon, because September, which derives from the Latin, like, until they added July and August, it was the 7th month, so that was my reasoning, but I didn't really give too many shits.
Why is that place the Octagon?
You know how the 4-sided strawberry house is on top of the 6-sided grape house? If you cut a 4-sided shape out of a 6-sided,
I remember when I was younger,
you
I
get
told
8
a
edges.
teacher once
It
something
becomes an
about
8-sided
like,
shape.
wait, an octopus has 8 legs. Does that mean that October? And she was freaking out, and I was
That's
like,
basically the gist of it.
no, wait, October's the 10th month. And I
true
think she
identity
outright
of the
told me that
Octagon is
oct must
that
mean
secret
10
room
and
in the depths
octopi
of the
lose
final
their
dead room.
arms or something like that.
I despair for the future of our respective countries.
In actuality, that place contained various weapons.
Then the ultimate weapon was there too?
It was the window, because it's the one thing that doesn't look like a weapon.
That's a little different.
No, I remember what she said. Octagons have 10 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, inside, outside, 10 sides. Oct means 10.
No.
Fucking kill me.
October is the 10th month because it was the 8th, and then they added July after one of the Juliuses and August after one of the Augustuses.
The true identity of the ultimate weapon is the funhouse. Which means the killer used the building structure as their weapon and killed
Isn't history
Nekomaru.
great?
No.
We should talk about history sometime.
Like me.
I know very little about history, but hey, I get it, that was a reference.
The secret of the funhouse from the scenery. And then thought of a way to kill making use of the building structure.
The funhouse itself is the weapon. So if
Oh,
they
it's like I've been
killed
saying this
using
whole
the
damn
building
time they
structure?
used the power of
That's why the killer
gravitate.
tried to keep us from learning
They
the mystery
used
of the
Thomas
building.
Jefferson.
But more importantly, using the building itself as a weapon? Such a spectacular crime. It truly deserves to be called the ultimate weapon.
What? Of course. Damn it, Hovig, damn it, Slatter. Of course. How dare you kill Husbando Bot?
Hiya!
Oh, Monokuma, you leg.
Of ham.
Stufatly.
Okay, everyone, all together now. Mon ami is a serious Stufatly.
Monokuma, you are just a tit. Resume. Because why the fuck did we need that break there?
Hello. I hope your day is well. I'm trying to force myself to be more energetic.
You've been playing for a
or else my
while.
mental
Why don't you
state
take a
won't be able
break?
to keep up.
Damn it, Isabel, I'll tell you what I've done.
My heart
Can I be entirely honest? The entire game, whenever they've said, like, you know, trial 1, resume, I've been reading it as resume.
Attitude and go ahead with high energy.
See, I haven't because we don't use that over here. And it's because OBS keeps dropping frames, don't worry about it, Elliot.
Yeehaw! Ah, but be careful that your batteries don't run out for various reasons.
Yeah, no one wants to discover that their batteries run out when their... The punchline is vibrator.
And just like I say each
Nagito.
time, don't forget to say it frequently.
For various reasons. Oh my god.
I never
Yeah.
expected the funhouse itself to be the ultimate weapon. Oh well, let's just press on ahead.
I was gonna say, that was a bit of an overreaction, then she just glosses right over it after all.
Is it really alright to accept a situation so easily?
I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's really important is the killer who used the building structure. Like, who's Mekomaru's murderer?
But is it really okay to believe the building is the weapon? Nagito said it, you know.
Yeah, but I said it before I realized what I was talking about, so you know it's true.
There's no way I'd lie at such an important moment. I don't want to die either.
What happened to the bastard who kept saying how much they didn't mind dying?
He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a stepping stone for your hopes, but I will sincerely retract that remark.
Retract?
I'm disappointed too, you know. If this was a murder for the sake of hope, I'd happily sacrifice myself.
I love how
You say such
sloppy
falsehoods,
the cross on Mikan's portrait is as well. Because, like, all the others are at least fairly well centered, and hers is just there.
There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope. Murder
more time
is
on that?
simply
Yeah.
murder. Only sacrificing others for one's own desires. Even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions.
I see.
It's fine. Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Nekomaru as fast as we can. Just so you know, it's not like I'm getting
Being
hungry or
awfully
anything,
cagey
you know.
there, Gundam.
Fun Gundam style.
You're drooling waterfalls?
I've been waiting all game for you to do that.
Good. I will keep you waiting.
Anyway, if the killer used the building structure, why don't we think about how they used it?
How they killed Nekomaru.
It might be better if we clarify the
Though,
cause of death first.
I do
don't
still
you
find
think?
myself wondering, why did Mikan reveal Hyoko's body? Like, she could have just left it wrapped up and there's a chance we wouldn't have even found it. And then fucking what? He was beaten with the floor. There it is. Dead battery, obviously.
See? That's it.
Finally.
I think he might have died from falling.
Was it not the first thing I said when we found the body?
Died from falling?
If the funhouse's secret is that it's a structure where both towers and houses are vertically connected, then the killer made use of its height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling.
Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from?
Well, they clearly tied him up, as we saw. But, okay, this, to be fair, is, like, really original. Like, they wouldn't be able to do this at all in the first game, unless there was a... Yeah, there wasn't a falling case in that. Was there? Am I having a moment? Like, they're still finding new ways to kill each other, which I'm okay with.
That, I don't know yet.
Take that one out of context.
Up when you don't know the method. Where in that building would you even be able to push someone off in the first place?
It might be possible in the tower. You could push him off the 4th floor when the elevator is on the 1st floor.
Did you forget how the elevator functions? When it's on the 1st floor, the door on the 4th floor won't open.
Saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of hell.
Gundam, you're doing a Pecco where no one would suspect you if you just kept your fucking mouth shut.
But my gut is going crazy right now.
Akane, that's what we in the business call indigestion. Or possibly diarrhea. A lot of bass in that diarrhea.
You're sitting on the bowl and you really gotta go diarrhea. Diarrhea.
Well, we've not talked about his anatomy so far. Sure, the good night button. Why not?
When the elevator is on the 1st floor, you can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this?
How about this?
After locking Mekamaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on. Did you forget the elevator has a sensor?
There we go,
As
I
long
get
as
it.
there's a moving object
But there
inside.
wasn't because they turned him off!
No, that's wrong.
He's the only one who could have been inside the elevator at that time. Nobody else could have been the victim here.
That sensor should only work if something is moving.
I get it.
If Nekomaru wasn't moving inside, the elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
Could it be his sleep mode?
When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed him, right?
I see. So
That's what we were talking about when we were first testing whether or not the thing is a thing. Like, that's why we used Chiaki's e-handbook and not him, because we couldn't trust him to stay knocked out just in case someone killed him.
However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Nekomaru would have just moved along with it. There would have been no drop for him to fall and die from. Yes?
But it was the grape door in the Strawberry House version of the tower that he would have. That's the one with the handle broken, so that's when he was suspended from. So they just took the floor out from underneath him and let him fall.
That's what I was
Piss
about
easy.
to explain, before Kazuichi interrupted me.
Silence, pest!
Now you're calling me a pest?
Well, seems straightforward enough to me. There we go. There's with the wire that was around his leg. They just tied him to. Yeah, they tied him to the doorknob. Simple.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is...
The hammer is suspicious.
No, it's not, Sonia. Shut up.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
Why are you all interrupting with things I could agree with? You're all wrong.
The doorknob on the floor.
That's the one.
suspicious.
For you, Hiko, my man. Atta boy.
Didn't the doorknob have scrape marks on it? That might have been where it got scraped by the wire.
After all, the previous case already taught us about the friction that could be caused by something being wrapped around something else and then jostling. So, yeah, writing.
Is that the same wire that was tied around Nekomaru?
The tip of that wire was tied into a loop. If the elevator moves,
Is
while
that
loop
why the
hung
previous
onto the
case involved
doorknob,
strangulation, just so they could set this up? Because if so, fuff my foof with a fenk. Don't know what any of those things are, but
If
do
he
it
did
anyway.
Something like that, he would have been suspended in midair.
That's right. He was suspended in midair.
Was he suspended in midair? Say it one more time, why don't you?
The killer tied up Mekamaru with the wire while he was in sleep mode. Tied the tip of the wire into a knot and hung it on the doorknob to the 4th floor.
See, this is the difference between hung and hanged. That's what they were trying to teach us.
With that, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor of Grape Tower. And suspended Mekamaru in midair.
Oh, that's cute. Just this little snot bubble, even though that really shouldn't be happening with this robot.
Right! He was so well hung! Kinda like...
They're talking about his bulge.
You better not finish that sentence.
Myuu. The killer took advantage of the elevator's unique feature. Only the floor moves. By doing that, they created a drop so Nekomaru could fall to his death.
Glad you haven't fallen asleep, by the way.
Too easy.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. Not for this.
Good. Also, Kazuichi having a
All your other streams are crap and boring, but this, Sorry, go on.
Just that. Why? If Nekomaru is suspended in midair like that, then how do you get him to fall?
Have him wake up.
Suspended in midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall.
Well, have his clock make him... Have his clock wake him up. Obviously. Oh God, tell me it's in here. Yep, there we go. Fucking right that. He had the thing that would wake him up, so...
Even if they suspended Nekomaru from... How would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off.
I ran out of cuts.
There's no way they could do that.
Wow, you need to be fucking perfect with this. That's racist.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru from a... How would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's no way they could do that.
There we go. That was offensive.
It doesn't mean someone had to push him off.
I do like the music here as well.
On his own.
What? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
Objection.
Allow me to cut through those words.
He woke up of his own ass.
What do you think would happen if Nekomaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in midair?
He would have vibrated and then gone poo.
What are you saying? Like, how would he even wake up?
He would wake up before you go.
He has an alarm inside his body. As long as it was armed.
That's my favorite
he would
Pokemon.
have deactivated his sleep mode.
No.
Which means the killer set the alarm before they suspended Nekomaru.
See, that isn't racism. That's just knowing national broadcasters and what they're capable of. But that said, I'm still reserving judgment.
If you woke up from an alarm and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why, if something like that happened to you, you would start panicking a lot, right? Instinctively, your body would start moving. Mekamaru probably did exactly that.
Oh good, we don't get a picture of that then.
In order to make him fall from the force he was generating, the wire was hung on the tip of the doorknob so it would easily slip
off. Go away, Brittany, this isn't your series.
In actuality,
More references no one will get in a year.
marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob.
Brittany, really, stop being weird. This
Oh
is
my
an
God.
outrage!
Australian Charlie.
Yeah?
Came off, right?
Oh my
The
God!
entire doorknob came off.
No! I'm trying! I'm really trying this time!
He must have struggled much more than expected, which caused the doorknob to break off.
Was that unexpected for the killer too?
Well, that's probably it. If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
Whoa, full power. Which, I know I've told the story before, but that mini-boss in the Mystic Ruins at the start of Sonic's story and Tales of Story as well in Sonic Adventure, for many a time, because the dirt particles looked like meatballs, I misheard that voice line as all systems food power!
Why because of the dust particles?
Because they look like meatballs, and meatballs are food.
What about when you got...
Discord,
Did you like how Snake was like eating through the platforms? What?
What about... Discord cut out.
I see.
God damn it. What about when you got to the egg viper and he said it again? Did you think like the snake was eating through the platforms? Or like...
I mean, I suppose that would have made sense.
You finally understand now?
Yeah.
See, it's funny too because I heard almost every line in that game wrong.
I'm just a pest.
Did I just say I misheard wrong? Let me try that again. As a child, I misheard almost everything that didn't have a subtitle in that game. Because the game taught me how to read, so eventually I could cross-check anything like that, but not so much elsewise. For the longest time, I thought the robot's name was Gabba, for example.
But by the way, Kazuichi's sort of slowly turning into TikTok fuck the wall.
No, I believe
Good.
you gave your all.
Hey, why aren't you teasing me anymore?
That's hot.
And
I
love
actually
how-
really like that.
I love how the richest person in the group isn't a complete dick this time.
This guy, he gets up
Well.
on this.
So thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down.
Oh my god, this is
That doesn't mean
adorable!
He just crashed straight into the floor. Of course, you know that too, right?
Well, he booped his head on the pillar, which is why it fell over and why there's oil on it. Boop.
I see.
He booped the pillar.
When Nekomaru fell to the
He
floor,
got his boop
he
on.
ended up colliding with the pillar.
He got a coupon to get his boop on. This isn't funny. Why am I laughing?
Finally, the pillar!
So that's how the pillar shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
See, I told you the pillar was the weapon. My gut was totally right.
Well, the pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will lead to the killer.
Then what about the alarm? I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m. And if we map it out from there...
Hold on, baby gangsta.
Oh, she's calling him that again.
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
With an A.
What'd you just say? Did you say the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.?
You didn't check it yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
Baby
Nah,
gangsta?
that's
How long has that been going on?
Just this trial.
Because even though
Okay.
I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning.
So the clocks in the towers were wrong.
Now that you mention it, so did I. There was no way I could be late for Monokuma Tai Chi, so I left for Grape Tower before 7
See,
a.m.
it's exactly what I said. Monokuma was like, yeah, you all missed Tai Chi, even though some people actually turned up on time because the crime scene was there. And because Nekomaru's clock can't be fucked with, teehee, because it's a radio clock, but the ones in the tower can, so at that point everyone was hungry and delirious and had no perception of the passage of time, so someone just fucked with the clocks.
And if we found Nekomaru's
Explain to
body,
me
it
how
would've been
fucking
before
with
the
somebody's
7:30
clock
a.m.
is
alarm
considered
went
an innuendo, because I'm scared now.
Just take away one letter. Pick a letter, any letter. You might find the right one.
It appears yet another contradiction has been birthed. How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m.
Fucking
when
with
you went to the
somebody's
tower
click.
at 7?
Yes, perfect.
That's what I want to know.
But this is so straightforward. Thank you, Heartbeat. Oh, that was a camera.
It's the L? No, it's the D! Everyone wants Nekomaru's D.
True. But yeah, we're talking about the radio that can't be fucked with.
We headed for Grape Tower
That's my stance on this anyway.
before 7 a.m., I am certain.
That's a very big statement there.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set
That's
for
my stance on the
7:30 a.m.
statement.
Yeah.
Nekomaru died
And my
because of that alarm,
state
right?
on the stancement.
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
No, they didn't.
that's
They messed
wrong.
with the other clocks.
No, the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
There you go.
The clock inside Grape House?
No, I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse.
Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
And they were all wrong.
If there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding?
I never misunderstand. I'll crush you into dog food.
I love Gundam so much.
I like most of them.
He's also got one of those tempura earrings from Dragon Ball. Sorry, go on.
I'm fond of hating Nagito as well. I like using him out of context. Oh, we got another one of the goozles, where you go down the tube. It's the Goozle Tube game. Whoop whoop. Okay, I definitely remember the controls this time. Ah! Ah! I still like the idea of just floofing down these tubes, screaming the whole way, but still solving the case anyhow.
Again, I have to ask,
Thinking
what is everyone else seeing while Hajime does this?
Just him standing there with a blank look on his face, going, "Dah, space. Dah, space." Oh no! That's a jump. It's making me jump now, Austin.
And of course, the stream cut out so that it didn't show you failing at all at these.
It was the clocks that were fucked with. This is what I've been arguing the whole time. We go down a yellow tube for once.
Has that ever happened?
I don't think so. Oh, I don't actually have to press the jump button to jump on these. It's just automated. Pies! Oh! No! Oh! Okay. Both, because they were all the same. Because we could confirm that all the houses had the same time to claim on them, so they were all wrong. Ah! I nearly got feckered with the plumple poops. Ah!
What?
That's fun stressful. Like the Hangman's Gambit is just bad, but this is fun stressful.
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
No, it's properly the new and improved Hangman's Gambit.
But what if all those clocks have been messed with?
What? All the clocks?
So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
How thorough of them, or how thorough, as Americans seem to pronounce that word.
So
do we really say thorough like that?
There's no
That's
way
how it sounds to me.
noticed that.
Even when I say thorough?
So you're alright.
Thank
Now's
you.
not the time to be pleased.
Just making sure.
importantly,
I have weird ways of
how much
pronouncing
was the
everything
time
anyway.
off?
I feel like I'm gonna blame you for this, but I think it's due to a couple sources. I've been somewhat corrupted out of speaking American. Like, obviously, I still have an American accent, but I'm not speaking American. I'm speaking English with an American accent, as opposed to speaking American with an American accent. If that makes any sense.
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Neko.
Or at least I'll continue to try to do that, because I much prefer the word aluminium. Just saying.
Clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be? In our time.
Oh, time zones, it's a puzzle.
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow
Yes,
that
because
down?
of Akane, hers was to do with
If only I
time.
heard the sound when you fell.
There we go. Because Akane's testimony was about the time.
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell.
And in
Wasn't
fact,
it that rumbling noise?
in fact, we did, because it was that. And honestly, I think V3, from what I've seen, has the most likable characters overall, but I don't like Kokichi. I like how people use him, but he's sort of like Nagito, but with a bit less charm, but like, he's still fun to hate. So a hearty fuck you, Kokichi.
Rumbling? I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was
I'm
that the
curious
sound from when
if
Nekomaru fell?
my opinions will change on the characters in this game once all the ones who are going to die are dead.
Well, just rely on my
If that-
predictions.
if that
I'm
makes
never
any
wrong.
sense. Because, like, okay, Hifumi kind of annoyed me, but I think they got him out of the way when they should have. For example, they killed off Teru Teru immediately, as I think they should have.
That
So,
sound
like,
everyone heard? I did not
say I
hear it
dislike
at all.
a character who was never intrusive in the first place. And I think that the characters we were left with in the first game were fantastic, so I can't say until this game's over and we're left with... Who are the 5?
Kazuichi, Fuyuhiko, Hajime, Akane, and Sonia.
There we go. And if those are the 5 we're left with, will I still like them as much?
See, the only thing that I'm sad about with Teruteru being the first to be, well, the second to die, first to be executed, is, okay, I liked his voice and his accent was fun. But like, Nagito has a good reason for being annoying. Kokichi's just a dick.
Good.
What?
I think his Jamaican breakdown was great.
His Jamaican, if you will.
Yeah.
Use that rumbling sound as a reference.
But yeah,
We
like,
might be able to
Nagito
figure
is
out
like...
how much our time was off.
Like, there's method to his madness. Kokichi's just a dick.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
So the time difference was 2 hours.
Huh? You can tell?
You're in the mountains, they're on the east coast.
I instantly
You know?
woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
The murder happened in London and everyone else was in Minsk.
Excellent work, Akane.
I love how most camera shots of Akane start on her boobs and then work their way up to her face.
Well, that is her character, isn't it?
Nekomaru's
Boobs with
alarm
brains
went off at
inside.
7:30.
Yeah.
And if we heard the sound of his impact at 5,
Clearly not too many brains, though. Maybe only 5.
And a stomach. And a ham. She just keeps like a cartoon leg of ham in her breasts at all times, in case of emergency.
Thank you! Oh, I'm so glad I got you to say beautiful, thank you. Oh, okay.
Plus, the funhouse has no
Clam down.
Sorry,
There
proceed.
weren't any Monokuma
No,
announcements
that was
either.
good.
However,
That was really good.
for
I
what
like that.
reason
Thank
did
you.
the killer
That was
alter
good.
our perception of time?
The reason is obvious. So they can lure out just Nekomaru. If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower
I mean, to the
alone,
tower
right?
specifically, all that's coming to mind is Tai Chi.
From
'Cause
there, the killer's plan was a
Everyone else would
splendid
still be in bed.
success.
And then because
That's
the
all
time,
it means.
because of the direction they changed the time, that would mean that everyone else would come to the crime scene when the crime was well and truly over. Massage time!
See,
They used Hifumi's pants and the Illuminati.
that's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Grape Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right? But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
We wouldn't be able to attend on time.
I mean,
That wouldn't affect
I think-
Nekomaru.
the names aren't spoilers unless they spoil something about the stories. Like, if you just say a name, that's alright. But like I would consider referring to Genocide Jack or Genocide Jill when talking about the first game. Like, that would be spoilers. But if it's nothing like that, then I think it'd be fine. Unless it is a spoiler character, I
His
guess.
radio clock had the exact
Like-
time.
Like talking about the person whose name begins with A and ends in L in Undertale.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him
Of
to
course,
the tower by
Al.
himself at the precise time.
Yes. Big Al's Discount Burger Barn. The final boss.
When I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning,
I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m.
First my mind goes, Toy Story 2. Right after that, Toy's Gone Wild, the
And if that
YouTube
time
poop
was
with Big
also
Bill,
2
what is
hours
it?
off,
Big
should've
Bill
been
Hell's
7 a.m.
Cars. And then after that,
pretty much
finally, I started to grasp what you were actually saying.
Oh.
Anyway,
And honestly, Maki is pretty good.
At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma
The ultimate
Tai Chi,
childminder,
right
but she
on
hates
schedule.
kids. Same.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Too early. He didn't even ask you yet.
See, this is what I was talking about. You see, this is where I was talking about. This is the thing that I was saying.
that was really good. I
You
kind of
said
want to
everyone,
turn that into a beat now.
Including us, right?
Good fucking luck. Put it on iTunes, get 99p. Has to be in pounds, though.
We thought we came to the tower
Well,
on time.
yeah, child
but in truth,
caregiver. Whatever.
Way past
It's
the
funny how a caregiver and a caretaker does the same thing.
99p is not pounds, though. That's pence. Jesus,
99% of a pound.
Yes, but it's not even a pound. How could it be 99p and also be in pounds?
Because pence is a
It's
subset
not
of
even in
pounds.
1 pound.
It's most of a pound. That's like saying that if you have a pie and you eat one slice of the pie, the rest of the pie isn't a pie anymore.
Well, it's not a pie. It's part of a pie.
Something like that.
Talking about
I'm very passionate and adamant about this. You're not winning this one, Tess.
Oh, yes, I am. Suck my pie, Austin.
I do every day. You just don't notice.
Yeah.
Not it.
That's how bad I am at it.
that's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Well, that was a moment.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found
Nagito's
out
throwing
how
shade
the
at
killer lured
Monokuma,
Nekomaru,
Monomi, and us in that statement. Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Like he even knows anything about my peanuts anyway.
the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off.
Gotta love how YouTube is reporting red stream health, and yet OBS is completely fine. Give me a hot second here.
It's working now. It broke for a moment there.
There we go. And yet it's still saying red stream health. I'm assuming it's still watchable. It's just offended because okay, now it's back to green.
Plus, it was
Why?
just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Which means that person does not
They're
have
talking
an
about
alibi
Nagito, but
for
he
when
was in a
Nekomaru
soundproofed room.
Who isn't? Who's the bastard?
Nagito never came out because his room was soundproofed, guys. How are you not remembering this?
You're the only one! The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
That's right. Nagito wasn't there. It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
And in fact,
You
Gundam's
didn't
a
come
suspicious
out,
one because he
even
had
though the alarm was
a
going
deluxe
off
room
like
as well.
crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something.
If you don't hurry up and answer,
Repeated
Actually,
suicide dive you!
that's the thing, is that Gundam's more suspicious because he had one of the deluxe rooms, but
Exactly.
also came out, right?
If I made
That's what I'm saying.
Even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
You're definitely fucking lying.
No, I'm
However,
fucking lying.
That is also true for me. It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
To be honest, it's not just them.
You were all in
Same goes for
deluxe
me, too.
rooms. I figured this out immediately.
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it, but it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
Like, there's no reason why they wouldn't specify that when first explaining the deluxe rooms unless it was going to come into play.
Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Oh, no, really? 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 Okay, fine. At least it's not what's an octagon. Come on, give me an E. Well, there's an O, which is a good start, but I need an R. Oh, unless it's... No. No, it is R. Thought maybe for a second it would be deluxe suite, but no.
Yeah, same.
That took a turn towards the end.
Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki, the three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right? If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise...
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve corps student talent?
Shut your fuck, I noticed it at the start.
Now then, you guys must understand by now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
See, this is worrying, because we're at 1 hour 50, and yet we're about to unmask the killer. Like, surely we've still got like another hour to go before things start falling into place, and then an hour of solving that.
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Decisive factor?
Ugh. It's a completely stolen meme, and I love it. You.
You're the only one! Gundam, there's something I want to ask you. When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
What's wrong with that? If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Why were you able to hear it?
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear that alarm?
I mean, he could just say he left the door open, and that would completely clear his name, but that'd be too easy.
Now that you
Gundam?
There's only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Just when Sonia was starting to fall for you too.
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko. Me?
I guess. Oh, because Fuyuhiko was out.
After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct?
So, Okay, I'm having thoughts. So, obviously the killer understood the layout of the buildings, so that means we've established that Gundam must also have reached the Octagon. So, he would also have access to what I'm assuming is the trapdoor that connects the Octagon to the Strawberry House Lounge, or something. Like, there's... whatever it was. I'm assuming that's what it was, because that makes the most sense, but... however Nagito reached... no, wait, Strawberry's up from... secret passages, accessible from the Octagon. That's my train of thought here. So he can't get back into the... he can't... or he could just have emerged from the Octagon not via the secret passage and come up the stairs and Fuyuhiko would have seen him as well. Actually, you know what? I was overcomplicating it. We just couldn't come back up the stairs because Fuyuhiko would have seen him and be like, oh, why are you downstairs? And like, because the toilet's downstairs and I wanted to take a poop.
Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? You were in the lounge.
Stop doing this to my image filter.
Earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
I was downstairs and I wanted to take a poop. I didn't have enough.
That utilized the alarm in his chest. The killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
They were looking for something so I could take it back up with me.
Everybody poops, and if they don't, they're an android and should be destroyed. That's this case.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower.
Also, just separate thought. I just like this idea of Gundam just sort of waiting, sort of Shadow the Hedgehog style, just arms folded. Nekomaru walks into the tower, and then Gundam just starts pelting him with hamsters.
While shouting, "You don't poop, therefore you must be destroyed."
Alas, that was Nekomaru's last pleasure in life. Shit!
In the original plan, the killer should have returned to the room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room, just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all,
I'm sorry, where are
if
we?
they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi.
Poop!
Failed to secure that alibi. Because I was in the lounge. So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
See, I'm looking at the pixel art for the clock, and I'm just seeing the Wendy's Wendy, but wearing a clock as a hat.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out.
He should use the poop excuse.
That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just
Well,
checked
he
the
can't
deluxe
because
rooms
he's Gundam. He's
that would have
perfect.
been
He doesn't
ideal,
poop.
but
His hamsters do it for him.
Exactly. What did you think hamster pellets were?
your plan was doomed.
Gundam? Please.
Oh, this is gonna be sad though. I don't want to see all his hamsters die.
Well, surely Monokuma was, but I don't know. I mean, if he really did pelt Nekomaru with hamsters, then they're complicit in the murder. They're accessories.
Answer me this, including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction.
Ah, the accomplice. What do you have to say for yourself?
The answer is 10.
Don't talk back to me like that. Do you know what kind of situation you're in?
That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof
You're just a big chicken. Cheep, 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 cheep.
Thank you for obtaining understandment.
You bastard.
No one imitates
Do you
my
understand
favorite
the
farm
situation
animal.
right now?
Do not panic. The truth shall now commence. At the time, I left my room. to
He's
go
using
to
the poop
bathroom.
excuse!
By coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that
Poor
face.
timing on my
That is
part.
the I have to shit face. And it's a beautiful,
Still holding
beautiful. I hope he gets to like stick to
you
that
don't
like
have to
breaking
admit
his
it.
concentration, almost
We're going
like
to decide
freaking
who
out
the killer
thing.
is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
Hajime, no.
Hajime, this class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just the opening act?
Perhaps I should say, it's just a farce.
It's just a farts? I'm never like this. That's your reward for watching these streams.
Just a boring farce. So
What,
boring,
seeing the
so
side of Tess that
stressful.
just came out of watching the NC's review of Dragon Ball
I might
Evolution?
develop stomach
Yep.
ulcers.
It's sad because
Let's just hurry up
everything
and
they
finish this
showed,
before
like
it lasts
actual
for
clips from the
health.
movie, looks really good. But that's coming from the part of me that really likes Speed Racer, so...
I don't know what that is, so okay.
Did it?
Speed Racer, the movie that
At
was
some
based
point
on the
during
anime?
Investigation, your behavior
All that's coming to
became
mind is the
weird.
Speedy and the Angry. You know, the Fast and the Furious.
What actually happened? Did you just discover something?
No, that's Fast 9.
Well, let's just
I mean, every other title's fitted in somehow, so,
And finish this
what would they
opening
even
act.
call the 9th one? Maybe they should just pull a Mario Kart and make the 10th one next.
Mario Kart or Windows?
You said opening act again!
See, no one's gonna convince me otherwise. They're going to do it with Mario Kart as well. They're gonna pretend that Deluxe, or sorry,
Is
8
9.
Deluxe is 9, and then just call the next one Mario Kart
Shut
10.
up. Perhaps you can't argue.
And it will be beautiful when they do, because that's exactly what Windows did. 8.1 is...
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption.
Gundam's defending Mario Kart 9.
In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru
Oh, poor
from the
Sylvie.
4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct? Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
Well, he would have had to have been in Strawberry House to set up the killing trap to begin with. Because Strawberry House is the one that's on top. So, moot point?
As I recall, the killer tampered with the
Ah.
Grape House control panel.
It's the Grape
and
House
shut
side that was
down
fucked
the
with.
elevator.
Well, in that case,
Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side.
then it will have just been he used the secret passages like I was saying before.
If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
If the elevator was broken at Grape House, you wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing. Which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it'd already been decided.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
But Nagito kind of proves that we can, because he did the thing. Oh good, we're having a time. And we haven't had an Absorby one yet, so... I mean, it's sort of overdue at this point.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
Was it now?
As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was...
Actually, no, hang
Broken
on.
at Grape House.
Actually, screw that. Don't need
If the
that.
killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
There is.
How much longer
I was
do you
hoping
plan
that
to
would come up,
lecture me?
because,
Why don't we stop this already?
like, it's the... His statement that it's the only way, that's the thing that's faulty, so that's the thing. See, I've learned my lesson from the previous game, and only on case 4 of the second game, the order of operations is important. Because, bearing in mind just how badly I got this in the third case, yeah.
That elevator was the only means of travel
Nope.
between...
No, that's
Got
wrong.
it in one, thank titties. And Herman Carr,
There
I've
should have been another way to move between the two houses.
if you're talking about the white
without
noise,
elevator.
I've got the achievement for, like, the first achievement for getting rid of him, so I'm sort of trying to, but at the same time I don't trust my aim. But most of the time I'll try to shoot it down.
Such a method does not exist!
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method?
Yo!
You're the only one!
You invented space.
Nagito, you should know.
Nagito,
What are you
you should
talking
know.
about?
Habba dabba dabba bop. Poop!
Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right?
Why are you here? Because I
There's a
showed up.
secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show up.
Is it just me, or is Hajime a little more brazen
There's a
than
door on the
Makoto
floor
was?
of the Octagon, which is on the first
Like,
floor of
more
Strawberry
willing to
House.
speak up, more willing to directly confront people, as opposed to simply contradicting
After
them.
I opened the door and went down.
And I'm glad for that as well.
Oh no, it's definitely good that
Surprise,
not all the
surprise!
characters are exactly
I ended
the
up
same.
in the Monokuma archive,
That's kind of a
which is on the
necessity,
third floor
but
of
I
Grape
do
House.
find it very interesting that they would do something like that, because, like, I don't know, you'd think in most successful series, you don't want to change things that people might have liked about the first game from the very get-go. So I like the fact that it's a subtle change. It just makes the protagonist equally as interesting as in the first game.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
What the fuck is just Nekomaru?
However, what if the killer was...
I don't know why I said
unaware of the
Nekomaru, because I'm
existence
looking
of
at
the
Gundam,
final
thinking of Gundam, but he killed Husbando. But yeah, what the fuck is that interjection Gundam? Burn in the fires of
There's
pandemonium.
no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own
But
suspicion.
pandemonium doesn't have
If you
fire,
value
it just
your
has
life,
bamboo.
You should stop with your scrutiny.
I misread that as you should stop with your scrotum, and that too.
There's no way I can stop.
Did you say? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Why do you turn into a hamster? Okay, I have no idea where this is going.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
This is a mess!
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes.
What is going on with this sword?
It's a hot mess, is what it is.
However, how frail I say! Your decayed
Holy
illusion.
shit.
Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Really, I have to do it perfectly?
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple
This would be a lot easier on a
provided you
touchscreen.
use a spacious
Yeah.
wormhole. However, how frail I say!
How hard would this be with a controller?
Your decayed illusion.
It depends on how you're
Shall I
imagining the
feed you
controls
to
work.
progeny of vile deities?
Alright. best case scenario.
I already proved the secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind...
Allow me to cut through those words.
I don't understand why that worked, but it worked.
The wire used to string up Nekomaru's body. The hammer that looked like the weapon. And the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse.
Oh.
Where did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can think of is the Octagon.
Anyway, Austin, like the controls there, like a W, A, S, and D, and like that's the direction it's going to cut from like if it's W, then it'll cut from bottom to top, and then S top to bottom. And so if you press down 2 at once, it'll go diagonally. That's how it works. If that makes any sense at all.
Is that what you were doing?
Pretty sure
Yeah.
I saw stuff like wires, hammers,
So to like
and
hit
chains.
ones in the corner, like you'd have to do W and A to do a diagonal cut from like bottom right to top left.
So it's literally Skyward Sword.
Yeah, but with keys.
Okay.
Since those
Keys.
items were used in the crime,
Keys.
there's no
Skyward
doubt
Sword had a
the
lot
killer
of
went to the
keys,
Octagon.
and you constantly had to lift them up and turn them around. It was really annoying.
I think it was fun.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret
I-
passage too,
I do
right?
intend to stream Skyward Sword around New Year because that feels like a very New Year game for me.
Oh, I'd be happy to have someone who actually enjoys the game take me through it. It's just I will not enjoy the game.
Now
That's all. That's
not what happened. I just didn't understand that's the line of argument I was supposed to be pursuing. Like, I just cut the first thing that I saw. I didn't realize we were supposed to be arguing, oh, we can prove you went to the Octagon because we have something... Like, I didn't realize that's what Hajime wanted me to say. Because he was saying something about, maelstrom of fucking tits. And just like, here's a wire. Like, in my mind, that didn't compute, but like, now I understand what I was complaining about. Now it makes sense. But without that context, it didn't make sense.
This is the end.
But now that he said, oh, you got this stuff from... Yeah, no shit.
Normally, we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case.
Somehow,
There's
Heartbeat,
no
I
reason
thought
to
that
waste
your
any more time
disappointment
on this
was
opening
very
act,
specifically
so I'm
a
going to
result
end this
of him
right
liking
now.
Skyward Sword. And I would have quietly nodded away in the background, but we'll
First
get
of
there.
all, by messing with all the clocks in the building,
It's
Gundam
actually
tried
doing
to
the closing
lure
argument
only
music.
Nekomaru. The elevator was probably
And it's
broken by
automated.
that point. Thanks
I
to
can't-
that,
I can't time
Nekomaru
this,
wasn't
it's
able to
automatically
go to
running
Grape
through.
Tower, which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken.
Go, Elliot!
So he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer
This
have
is
done
beautiful.
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties. But even if they failed,
Yeah,
they probably wouldn't
only
have
the person
minded.
talking gets to see the comic.
They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
Oh, did I mention? 2 things. 1, I'm probably going to be on a live stream game show over the weekend. I will tweet about this when it becomes better arranged. And also, I may have secured interviews with some people for my university final major project, which involves talking to Let's Players, and I may have got a big name on board. But I
And
can't say any more about that just yet.
without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay? Through this, Gundam successfully
He's
lured
still going.
Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he
I love how
could
the
fight
music's
head-on
humoring
with the
him as well.
robotic Nekomaru. So by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
Hold on! You... What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
Now he's talking like someone who desperately needs to poop!
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me!
Now he just looks angry that his dick isn't as long as he thought it was. That's what that pose is.
Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
Oh, Akane. Oh, milky land puddings.
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
Where will you be when erectile dysfunction strikes?
What do you intend to do?
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I have
Can I just get that I cannot finish line and just like apply that to like a million?
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
Did you actually... Did you actually finish that thought, or did Discord cut out? Just apply that to a million.
Oh, I can! The word things was supposed to be attached.
Just as I thought, truly frail, succumbing so
Could you-
easily to this simple argument. It was just a mere illusion.
Hashtag when the hentai's really good, but you have to go to school. I cannot finish!
Surpass your own human.
There's something about that that's like the, I don't know, most adorable thing I've ever heard.
That's wrong, Gundam.
Oh.
I'm picturing Shadow tweeting that. Mr. Chicken Nugget Bullets?
No, that's the thing. He's got like this giant, like, triple family-sized cup of just like popcorn chicken from KFC, right? And he's sitting there eating away, and somebody calls him away from the couch, and he's like, "Not yet. I'm not done yet." And then they're like, "But come on, Shadow, you gotta come here." He's like, "Tails, shut up. Hang on, I'm almost done." And then finally, he's like, "No, it's an emergency. You gotta come, Shadow." Shadow finally gets up. And then he leaves, and then they end up leaving the house, and he realizes that I cannot finish! Oh, this is great! Oh, Gundam, I love you so much.
I'm assuming you're defaulting to imagining them as like a fucking married couple or something at this point.
I mean, like, no comment.
I mean, I don't know why Shales is a thing, but it is cute. It's a cute shit. Oh, fight time. What the fuck are the controls again? Oh, he has discs. Okay, left, it is all just left. Okay, yeah.
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! For the Tanaka Empire!
He's weirdly religious in some of these statements.
I won't let you! It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really
The
think
four
that
dark
this is
devils of destruction. Oh, I've heard that people don't like the V3 version of
Even if you
Paddock
didn't
Talk
get
actions.
behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck.
Wait a minute, I just realised that this counter-argument basically says, yes, he actually did pelt him with hamsters.
As long as you have the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
Of course it'd be impossible
On the back
for
of
a
his
normal
neck,
hamster. It would have
Amaru.
been possible for Gundams. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
Oh my god. Thomas must be like whatever the live equivalent of rolling in his grave is right now. They
could have had it
literally
all
in
rolling
this
in the
game.
deep.
There we go. Thomas must be rolling in the deep right now. This game found a way to fit in the line "the power of hamsters" into an epic burn.
One of Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right? Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible.
So they were accessories to the crime. I don't want them to be executed, because they're hamsters. They're not humans.
Press the button on the back of his neck.
How about
I wonder if Monokuma's gonna have anything to say about that.
Not just myself.
Oh, Chiaki, bringing on the burn that. Ah.
I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses.
The fuck?
You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now, trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own two hands.
Funny how he's talking about, like, trampling, and, like... Wouldn't it be so fitting if his execution was like fucking Stampede or something? Anyway.
A stampede of hamsters?
Well, Stampede of anything, it was the ultimate breeder. Anyway, what, nope, oh my god, there's anonymous hamsters! Had a moment there where I did wonder. Nope. Yet to make a mistake on one of these, so... Nope, nope.
My god. As if it's not obvious it's Gundam.
Oh, didn't you know? Sonya had trained hamsters this whole time.
Hang on a minute. Right, that's definitely fake. That's okay. Yeah, I didn't think that made sense. Am I just missing a panel? Because doesn't fit there. Having a moment here. Because, like, those two are both fake panels. Any input here, Austin? Like, I feel like I'm gonna watch this back in post and be, like, really kind of fucking hell about it, but... The only panel here that seems legit is the one with Hajime, but that isn't the answer to any of the questions. So what do? I don't know, something similar to No Fear, something jazzy, and then a third thing.
Did somebody say something jazzy? Happen to be a big fan of that Naganima song.
Oh dear.
Something jazzy for your mind, your body, and soul.
But anyway, Austin.
Uh-huh.
What do?
I am as equally lost as you are. Are you sure the other two panels are in the right spots?
Well, all the ones that are already in there are definitely right, because it confirms them when you put them in.
That's dumb.
And the two remaining panels that we have in the stock are both fake, because they're already the same as panels that already appear in the comic.
Hmm.
So it has to be Hajime, but that doesn't answer any of the questions.
Did Hajime wake up to the alarm clock going off? Or I don't remember. I mean, I know that was in the other building. Would he have not heard it then?
Well, it doesn't answer the question that it puts up on the screen. Like, Like, that was, like, it's gonna be fairly late. So... No? No, that's not it. Where does it fit in? Because, like...
Unless they're specifically, like, the killer, you know, tied up the door in chains and then put a padlock on it? Is that one of the... That's not one of the... Is right?
Like, surely this should go... Oh, there was another page that I just didn't see. That's kind of bad. I am gonna hate myself for that in post.
I've definitely seen worse. This red and green, or pink and green aesthetic is really cool because it puts a lot of focus on like stylism, where a lot of the other comics kind of had to force it in. This one really does feel like the entire thing is built up to this color scheme thing.
There we go.
Happened in this case.
That took me a moment just because I didn't notice the last page, which is kind of dumb.
The many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime.
Click.
First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours.
But what you don't know, Heartbeat, is that there is actually a 8th floor, which is the...
The killer went to the Strawberry House
I was
lounge.
gonna have something ahead of time. I
Tangerine.
didn't even think. The Blueberry
Set the wall
House.
clocks
The
alarm at
Tangerine
5:30
House.
a.m.
There we go.
Or the Tangelo house. Foom!
After finishing their preparations, the killer went
No,
to
that's the
Strawberry Tower
pizza-themed
with the
house.
necessary
You know,
tools.
the D'Angelo's.
They obtained these tools from the Octagon.
It's not
which
delivery,
you can
it's
enter once you clear the final
Domino's.
I thought you were gonna like...
This means
It's not delivery, it's D'Angelo's.
that secret being Strawberry House and Grape
That
House
pose,
are
by the
actually
way.
the same building.
It's like
It's
like
D'Angele's.
it's like sexy Mario Halloween costume, but like
The hell?
the one with the power block in the middle of the screen and it's just pipes, like that Mario. Clank.
On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific
The
reason.
hell?
Whir clank. Whir clank. Tick tick tick.
There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence.
Banana House! Thank you! That's the one that I was trying to think of.
That sounds like a euphemism for a really tight-fitting, like Speedo.
According to
It's a
Fuyuhiko's
banana house.
testimony,
Like
that was
not a
around 5
like
a.m., but
like boxer shorts in Speedo form as opposed to like a thong, because like that's a banana hammock. But this, where it goes down to like the midsection of your thighs, that's a banana house.
by that point, the killer had already messed
Put
with
a lot
the
of research
perception
into this,
of
haven't you, Tess?
In
Yeah.
actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at
Well,
7
Christmas is
a.m.
coming, Austin. You know what to get me.
That's also the same time Monokuma
Red,
Taichi
purple,
begins.
do what you will.
Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that.
You heard him, chat. Let's all pull together and get Tess as many as we can.
Work like, work like.
Meanwhile, I'll just get him a dildo and he won't even know what it's from.
Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape
I'll just
Tower.
put like, from a secret admirer or something on the on the box.
So he decided to try going to
I thought you were gonna say like a dildo that is a reference to something, and he won't get the reference. Ka-ching! 4 Dark Davers of
But
Destruction.
the killer was waiting for him there.
Can we just appreciate the hamster that's like in the middle between the elbows there, just looking upside down, like hello. Foosh, foosh, shove, beep.
With the power of hamsters, they were able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck.
With the power of hamsters. Fsh. Cathod.
This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon.
Plunk the twist twist.
First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's
That's another
chest
thing
at
that this
7:30
comic's doing.
a.m. so
It's
he could
actually making the hamsters appear as Gundam constantly describes them, instead of just the cute things that have been
Then they
trained
tied
to
him up
push
with a
buttons.
metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob.
Snap. Crunch.
After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall.
Or unch true if you read it from left to right.
They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower, and to keep us from discovering the secret of the building's structure that they used to kill Nekomaru.
Dun dun. Ding.
Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower.
Tap, tap, tap. Oh.
When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending, and Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their
Let's
setup
put that
was
as Grope
successful.
Tower. Heh. Clonk. Click rattle.
And placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall.
Step, step.
With this, the
That
killer
onomatopoeia.
finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened.
That face.
Fuyuhiko, who saw
No, all
Nekomaru
of these
earlier, was
faces.
still at the
There's
lounge.
so much
As a
orgasm
result,
in
the killer
these
couldn't return to their
comics.
room,
And so
with
much
no
poop.
options available, time ran out.
That's it.
Ring, 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 ring,
The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others.
Vroom.
When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up.
Vroom. Snap.
He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob. But because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking.
A heavier load than expected. Just sit on that for a second. Doom.
Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor. He
Kablam.
crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse.
Dun dun.
However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
I do love how calm Hajime's voice is, compared to Makoto's kind of chip chocolate energy. That face.
That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
He sounds more like a Kyoko than
They
Makoto
use
did.
strawberries and grapes in the transition.
It's kind of like personality-wise, Makoto and Kyoko swapped places to make room for Hajime and Chiaki.
Stop.
I'm okay with that.
Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe. You killed Nekomaru? I cannot believe something like that.
Hey, I mean, we're sad and we're grieving and we found the killer, but can I just take a moment to say I was right about everything again?
You don't wish to forgive me. Do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
So is this just a relatively short trial, or what?
There's gonna be a crazy twist or something.
I mean, we're getting the results screen, so... Okay, hang on. What the fuck? Can I just say what the fuck for a second? Because you saw how much I flubbed up the closing argument in terms of forgetting that there were... not even realizing there was a last page, and yet it still gives me a perfect 100, right? But I lose 2 points because I bumped into a single blue triangle. Where is the logic? What the fuck? Like, I would have taken that hit if it had come in phase 18, but phase 5, I booped a triangle and that was it. Never mind. Danganronpa!
So much boop!
This result isn't all that exciting. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote.
After all, better Nate than Lever.
Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Please.
There's really not a single accent on your side of the pond that would say clever.
I did what he was saying because Monokuma bit his tongue.
Logic.
So what was it that you said?
Huh?
What did you actually say, though?
Oh, did Discord cut out again?
Well, no, it's just tongues.
Is there really nowhere on your side of the pond where somebody's accent would have them say either lever or never?
No. Now, does my child require depooping? Surprisingly not.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Nice!
Now then. Jeez.
Cheese. What would you call, like, a single unit of cheese? Because I keep coming back to loaf, and I know it's not a loaf.
Fall, my tears.
Block and or wheel. Wedge,
Block.
perhaps.
That's the word I'm thinking of.
Listen well. How pitiful. Fine.
Damn it!
This, too, must be the will of causality.
You.
Let's make history.
Wah. Ooh, stink lines. More than one cheese, you say you have cheeses. Okay.
That is...
Let me tell you this.
Huh?
Was there actually a husbando fight? That's another one for the prediction booklet.
I can see it!
Could it be?
Sensing even my subtle killing intent, as expected of you, Nekomaru.
The scorching, stinging, tense atmosphere. I've been a team manager for so long, I'd nearly forgotten this. This is great! What a comforting atmosphere!
That's a great line.
And what is your reason? Do you intend to resolve this situation by killing me?
I am the Warlock, Gundam Tanaka. Heroes, Lords of Darkness, and even the gods themselves flee from me. I need not cling to any trivial reason. I'm simply going to kill you because your very existence is an annoyance.
You'll drench your soul with evil until the bitter end, huh? Splendid! In response to your spirit, I shall kill you with all of my might. I won't go easy on you. Don't even think about holding back.
Oh, husbando.
Don't waste your breath on cowardly tactics. Give me everything you got.
Nekomaru need I. Your blood will drench the foundation of my empire.
I shall break your leg joints because Nekomaru need die.
Knees.
That is...
Knee.
Let me tell you this. You weakling! Fall, my tears. If you flinch, you will die! Let me ask.
Damn it, Chucky, you ruined the moment.
Fine. Listen well! I shall engulf this world. I renounce you!
Surprisingly poetic.
You. What?
Damn it.
Fine.
Isn't that basically what I said would happen? Like, they would fight so that someone would die so they could all eat?
Fall, my tears.
I think you did, so I'm adding it.
Hubba hubba zoot zoot.
You...
Let's make history.
well?
My name is Gundam Tanaka!
Honestly, at this point, for all his rhetoric, his greatest execution would just be, like, I don't know, like, dress him up like an angel and just send him up into Cloud Cuckoo Land. Because he's like, yes, I am a monster, hell, I abhor the trashy man. And it's just like, nah, you're an angel now.
Fade like dust in the wind.
You see, even we don't spell pandemonium like that. In spite of everything, despite killing the ultimate husbando, I do still respect Gundam, even after all this.
Yes, indeed.
He's basically the Celeste of this game.
I beg of you.
Just as long as by breeder, it isn't having him get fucked to death, because that wouldn't look good on a stream.
Huh?
At least not this kind of stream.
I beg of you.
Monokuma's gonna be gyrating.
Fine. What is it, my four dark devas of destruction?
Oh, that's a cute face.
Are you worried about me? Oh, my feared four dark devas of destruction. That is not like you at all. However, there is no need to fear. In this world, I am only a temporary visitor. I was simply visiting for a moment, and now that my duty is complete, I must return to the darkness. That is why, until the very end, pride, conceit, courage, insolence, fearful of nothing, daunted by nothing. Let us laugh uproariously!
Ha.
That is Gundam Tanaka! I shall stick with my evil until the very end! Open sesame pandemonium! I shall fill hell with true hell!
Let's give it everything we've
Well, that
got.
certainly was a speech.
It's punishment time!
Okay, game, what do you got? Oh, Gundam. Oh, Gundam. Possibly one of the most likable, even in execution. Is that a pineapple? That is a pineapple. There's a lot of fruit. Oh, Stampede. There we go. Really enjoying this music from what little I can hear of it. Oh, is it? Let the hamsters go. He is. This is good. Good for you, Gundam.
Oh my god.
It's doing a little circle in it, like a fucking thingy circle. It's not going to help you, but you know. I appreciate this. Fucking good for you, Gundam. Oh, it actually is doing a thing. Well, fuck me then. Good. Gruesome. But good for you. Oh, that hamster's... Oh! Oh! Just a little bit disappointed that there wasn't like a giant hamster ball involved, but hey. Oh, it's cute. They're actually doing it. They are actually doing it. They're actually fucking doing it. Well, okay then. He got sent to heaven after all, just as a special middle finger to him.
That is literally every prediction you've made today come true.
Fucking tip my nipples.
Later.
Meow. I think that's the most, like... I see what you mean, like, in terms of aesthetic. Like, also, I like how it's the most poignant as well. Because it's not just bloody and gruesome, it's like, there's so much being said in such a short sequence. Like, I loved how surreal and polysemic, that's the word, how polysemic Mikans was. And this is just straightforward, just... This Gundam dying on his own terms, kind of. Not sure what the fruit had to do with anything, but hey-ho.
Worst.
Oh. You are right.
Also, we've had the execution, and we're not even at 3 hours yet, so this was kind of a short trial, kind of. I mean, technically speaking, we didn't actually see him die. We just saw him get carried off while he was still alive but dying, so, you know. Just talking to yourself there, Hajime.
Hey! Wait!
Ah, dearie Leffany. Oh, I'll answer your question with a question, Heartbeat. So, you know the hidden Monokumas? Do they reappear, like do the ones from... are the ones from Chapter 1 still where they would have been in Chapter 1? Because I want to go back and look for them, but if they're not there, it's not worth me looking for them.
Now then.
And Akane's back to normal.
It's not like that.
Oh, she's crying happy tears.
Hey, hey.
I think I'm going to have something to eat once I end the stream as well.
Right?
So everyone's feeling substantially happier than they were after the 4th trial of the first game. Although that did end on a hopeful note anyway, because Sakura was like, hey, no, fuck the rules. So unless I'm mistaken, the only ones left are the 5 that I said would survive, plus Cherky and Nagito, so... Oh! Speaking of, we're playing as Nagito again. Oh dear.
This is too perfect.
He's fapping over the identities of the previous game. Well, I mean, you can't spell identities without titties. Albeit misspelled.
Well... Damn it.
Every time they show a non-profile picture of Nagito, they suddenly make him like 10 times more unhinged.
That's Nagito.
It's obvious.
See, just from what he was talking about there, my immediate first thought is setting up some really bullshit, convoluted suicide that doesn't quite kill him, and then in trying to save him, someone else kills him, and by his own bullshit luck, that'll be Chiaki, and that'll out her as the traitor? That just seems like the sort of twisted shit Nagito would pull at this stage in the game. After having to say, oh, even if it costs me my life, I must... nipple.
Now then.
What's this? What's the matter?
Wow.
Hello.
Hey.
Say what?
You don't even know? Isn't that right?
See, if you just glance at his face, it looked like he has a really long nose.
Of course.
But...
Who knows?
Hey. Well... Right?
That's my burp of pondering.
You're getting all riled up.
I mean, that does seem like the way Nagito would arrange... Like, if he were to arrange his own death, that's what he'd arrange it to be like, is what I'm thinking.
No.
But the only reason why I'm even thinking in those terms is, as Austin can back me up on, I've been writing my own Danganronpa, but I've had to come up with, 6 chapters and an other thing. So I've been thinking about creative ways of killing people. That sounded better in my head.
I had to think up some really interesting ways to kill all of my friends. Because they all it deserve to die in my own little world. Don't misconstrue that, anyone listening.
Yep.
Except Austin, because you really do deserve to die.
Right?
Meow.
Yeah.
No. Unbelievable.
Well... You're right. Huh?
Like...
Well...
Say what?
You don't know?
Nagito really is a strange one. We're at this stage of the game and I'm just saying that now. You don't fucking say, Tess.
Hey. See? Hey.
That's...
Yeah, Hubby, yes, I will. I do intend to, yes. When the price comes down to something reasonable, damn. Sploop. Really? Wow, how long did we spend in a funhouse? Jesus. And that's end of chapter.
I can imagine Monokuma being a really good, like, Paper Mario narrator. You know, like, chapter complete kind of thing.
You do that too well. Like, it's not perfect, but it's too well. Oh, we got his earring.
Which part? Which part do I do too well?
Monokuma.
Oh, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I wish I could do the anime one. Because I actually think the Funimation dub has, like, probably my favorite incarnation of Monokuma, but,
See, I appreciate, like both are really valid interpretations of Monokuma, but, like, because I saw the games first, therefore that's the most canon one, in my mind.
Oh, no, when I think Monokuma and what Monokuma says, I obviously think of what you hear in-game first, in the same way that when I think of Sonic as the character that I've always envisioned him, it's Ryan Drummond from Heroes. But that doesn't stop me from appreciating alternate interpretations possibly more. Griffith in Black Knight, for example.
Lisbon Lampshade. And hey, if you still have cash to splash, patreon.com/TessHex, yeah.
If you still have cash to splash.
But yeah, true fact. Oh, hold on, OBS is having a moment. Damn it, OBS, I'm going to end this live stream on my own terms, not when you feel like dying. But yeah, because tomorrow I'm going to be releasing on Patreon my unified theory on how to win Eurovision, which I actually still need to finish editing, which I'll probably do tonight. But that's going to go up tomorrow, but only for paying patrons, and then you have to wait another month to see it on YouTube. But also tomorrow is when my video about Andorra is released to the public on YouTube, so there's that. And Austin, I expect you to watch all of them.
I always do when they come out on YouTube because I'm dirt poor.
You cheapskate. I would expect nothing less.
See, for a moment I was sitting there thinking I would expect nothing more. Well, I live to serve myself, so...
Anyway, that was a stream. I was right about everything, and brass puppies.
A body has been discovered! Sorry, go on.
That sounded like a potty has been discovered. Poop!
Did Monokuma have a moment like that in one of the trials in the first game? You know, everybody poops! There's something to that effect, I don't remember.
Probably. Also, here's a Christmas pudding. 'Tis the season.
We got 2 months. Let me get through my birthday first.
Oh my god, I just realized. Because it's the 9th of November, it's actual 9/11 today.
Well, to be fair, I've stayed inside doing my job all day, so I guess it's true. Ow.
Oh dear. Also, I think there's going to be new Steven Universe tomorrow at last. It's going to be like 57 episodes at once, so I'm looking forward to that, even though I'm going to be at university basically all day.
Ah, Netflix syndrome. I see.
Meow. Anyway, shall we sign things off for the moment?
I have been and will continue to be AustinOnSugar.
Yeah, Tessellating Hexagons. And this has been a stream.
I'm gonna start signing out all of my videos like that.
Good fucking luck.
Just cause.
Anyway, goodbye, good night, and... bread! It's kind of a pun, because Gundam was the ultimate breeder. Bread.